just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. And it's a special episode because my original dance partner, one of the original dance partners, apologies, he's back. You know, I've missed him his shit takes and, not laughing at my jokes in time. And it's been a sad time since he's been gone. The great Gurino.
Yeah, you put the bat signal back up. He rang
The
me
numbers
other
were going
day.
down, mate.
Rang me the other day. He said, you need to come back. We're in all sorts. And then Tim came back and it got fucking worse.
Holy shit, he's just come straight into Timmy when he's not here. Oh, wow, mate. How was the trip?
It's been fun.
Mate, I have missed you. How was the trip, mate?
Yeah, it was unreal. Time of my life. Ashes footy was bang average, but everything else was unreal.
Well, just quickly, because we've spoken on it a bit, but was it as average as it looked, the footy?
It was to me.
Oh, my God.
Even obviously being there for the captain's runs and all that, they didn't look like that during the league. That was the most frustrating. And I think I don't know if it came across in the telecast, the interviews, but you could tell the players were frustrated too. That they just weren't hitting where they needed to be hitting.
Yeah, okay.
Exciting times for the World Cup, though. That's all I can think about.
Yes, true. Very, very true. What do you think of New Zealand Samoa?
I was watching in the middle of the morning, but I think New Zealand would beat the Kangaroos right now, based on what we've seen.
I think form-wise, I know people don't like hearing this, but I do think the occasion matters to the Kangaroos. I do think that if they were playing the Kiwis, I don't think they play like that. Respectfully, obviously. It's always respectfully.
I going into game one, being over there,
it felt right.
Felt the occasion mattered to them.
Okay.
That's the feeling that I got. And maybe I'm just a fucking nerd that lives off 1990 Kangaroos.
Yeah,
tours,
okay.
But I also think that, you got players to come back for the Kangaroos, but Kiwis got Jerome Hughes to come back.
I know, crazy.
On his day, he might be the world's best halfback.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you consider, obviously Cleary is the best halfback, but internationally or rep-wise, he's still finding his feet, really. He's been solid.
Yeah, and, their fullback Keeney has played, 4 games this year?
Oh, bro. I mean,
he's
you're
out of this world.
Watching Kinney highlights, how are you feeling? Were you thinking about flying back?
I wasn't enjoying it, to be honest with you. Been a tough year.
Oh, wow.
What about I'm standing at the Coliseum of all places? Looks
Leichhardt Oval, what are you doing there?
Paul Alamotti was standing next to me.
Wow.
How random's that?
The big fella. Sure, he would look like a gladiator with his shirt off.
He's enormous.
He's a big boy.
Big boy.
What do you mean, 6'1", you reckon?
Probably.
Jesus, nearly 100 kilos. Oh, sorry. The boys, Tom and Eddie, sent over a bag of green. Very kind. Finally got it. Finally got a bag of green. Thank you.
Just handing out these fucking things, man.
So put it up on the wall of fame, where the other picture is. Oh, shit.
Is there enough space for another one next to it?
Why would there need to be more space for you?
There's got to be one in.
Certainly not.
Surely. Fucking sure.
You can have a Code Sports hat if you want.
Yep, so got the bag of green. I've made it. I've done it. Good luck to the boys going forward. Hammy, how you been, bro?
No, good. Busy week, but good to be back. Emotional stuff. 3 weddings in 8 days.
How many tears? That's the question.
Oh, so many tears.
About missing the Travis Head innings? Or?
Yeah, can you believe that? So I had to leave for this last wedding. Probably the people that I knew didn't know as well as the others. These were some of Mon's mates from school. We're getting married. And I had to leave at lunchtime of day 2 when it looked like we were going to lose the tests. But obviously we didn't do that. A bit disappointing there wasn't cricket on Sunday when I was a little bit, below my best after a couple of big weddings. But the good news was I watched the full innings just in full. I didn't even do a Kayo mini. I just went the full. Give me the full 2 hours worth.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, amazing knock by Travis Head. That's probably where I shed the most tears, I'd say, watching that across the week.
Yeah, you love your nation.
I do love my nation. Guilty as charged. Yeah. How are you going?
I'm good, thanks, man. I appreciate that,
My
mate.
pleasure.
I'm really good, thanks. I just got in me cricket on the weekend.
Yep.
Really just dealing the memes all weekend. I'm just like that. Fucking, here you go, boys. You're not used to this kind of shit in cricket. Usually rugby league gets this stuff, but here you go. This is the good stuff.
You'd be probably the most upset of anyone that you've missed out on 3 days potentially of cricket.
Yeah, look, part of me actually, you know what, I actually kind of am because I remember that India test and how fucking incredible it was last year.
Yep.
Like, we looked while we were out, then we came back, and then Boomer was absolutely pounding us into the core, and then he gets injured, and then, we come out, we get the job done pretty comfortably towards the end. However, if we're just talking rock and roll stuff, Cox out stuff, it was Cox out cricket on the weekend. And look, if you want to get your cock out and play a bit of cricket, I won't hold it against you.
Yep.
So I will say, though, it did help because, as I said, I was dealing the memes. Like, I was just fucking...
I saw.
Funny shit, fuck you, England, fuck you. And the great thing about the Ashes for me, is I get to talk shit about England and not care about it. Whereas obviously in rugby league, like it's my community. I know these people. I'm not going to be rude to them. Whereas I can just be rude to English cricketers because I'm never going to meet them. Yep. So it's great stuff. It's great stuff. I will say though, English fans have actually been quite good. At least the ones on my page.
Yeah,
they've been quite good. So I appreciate that.
They're shell. I know we'll get into it, but
yeah. Now are they waiting to return serve? I think they are.
They won't be returning.
I think it's going to be coming in an avalanche if they do.
That was actually a big takeaway from me in England too. I've always thought English fans are just fucking insufferable. They're actually all right over there too.
To be honest, we're more alike than we like to admit.
Yeah.
We're more alike than we like to admit.
Definitely.
So look, it was a great weekend. But let's face a bit of music. Oh, before I do though, Jai Pataya, just quickly, Jai Pataya, Zerto's, he's ducked again. He's going to fight Benavidez. So that sucks. He continues to be ducked. I think he's on his third mandatory now, which is ridiculous. So get around the boy Jai Pataya. Let's make some noise. I don't know. They're not going to listen. Surely he can unify the belts at one stage. And also the Grumpy Coffee sale, it starts today, 25% off kilo bags. And I think it's a pack of 3 pods, also 25% off. Goes for 7 days. We've never done a sale this big before. Get in there. Get stocked up with your coffee whilst you can at a cheaper price. Okay, let's face the music. Proudly brought to you by friends over at Sportsbet.
All right, so everyone's on the board for Face the Music. You had your series predictions, obviously, to start with you, Denon. Australia 3-1.
Nailed it.
I don't know about nailed it, but you're on the board. Nods had Australia 3-1 as well. So did I. I've got Australia 3-1, Smith and Stark to be the top run and wicket taker respectively. Matty, he had Australia 5-0. So everyone's on the board. We're all building a bit of momentum. Although I've got to say, I had 3-1 and I thought the one game that England might win would be Perth. They didn't do that. They probably should have, or they had an opportunity to. But I'm worried now. I'm probably leaning more Matty's way. 5-0, definitely on the cards.
Wow.
Top run scorer. Nobody got this. You and Nods had Marnus. Matty had Smith, so did Timmy. So did I. The top run scorer was Carey, I think, in the first innings, 26.
Oh, for Australia?
Yep.
Yeah.
First innings. Yep.
And Brooks for England?
Yep.
Yeah, Carey 26.
Yep. All right, so then wicket taker, Denon, you had Boland, didn't bowl at his best in the first innings.
Oh, my God. But then he picked it up. He
was good.
Broke the momentum.
As soon as I turned the TV off, he came home with a wet sail. Brendan Doggett was Matty's pick, bowled pretty well, but he wasn't the
He
guy.
was great, especially his first innings.
Yep. That first nut that he bowled.
Oh, bro.
Back through the gate was almost, I think someone in commentary said it was almost like Gatting, like, the worn ball to Gatting.
That's what I was thinking when he did
That's what he said. Took the words right out of your mouth, I'm sure. Nods had Boland as well. Then Timmy and myself had Stark. So we're both on the board, $3.75 for Stark.
Okay.
So that's how we're sitting at the end of the first game of Face the Music. But, going to be a hell of a series.
Going to be hell of a series.
Yep.
Hell of a series.
Get on the feed. I did also have all of our kind of bets got put up into multis.
Did see that. Great stuff.
Yeah. Mine was paying $54. So if you got on, if you're one of the 80-odd punters who got on board, let's ride. Let's do it.
Oh, you've got it. As in your last one was.
It's up.
It's up now. Oh, ready to go. Okay.
Up and
Can I chime in here? Obviously, I didn't get to put my predictions in.
Yeah.
I want to have some fun this series. I notice your hair's, the blonde's gone.
Almost. There's a little bit at the end there, but yeah, it's almost gone, mate.
You want to re-enter into another?
Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Are we talking about the bet where I had some balls, had some nuts, laid them on the line game 1, and then you didn't reciprocate game 2 because you're a coward?
Is that what happened?
Pretty sure.
Sounds smart.
No, well, actually,
I'll join you here.
To be fair to you, we just didn't bet anything, which was silly, and I thought that you would try and take advantage of your lead, but like New South Wales do, you shit the bed.
I'm here, aren't I? I'm here. I will let you pick whichever Aussie batsman you want, not named Travis Head, for most runs for the rest of the series, and then I'll pick the next one.
No, listen, okay, I know I'm Mr. Cricket. I know you're trying to take the big dog down in cricket. Guru took down the most popular cricket podcaster. I get it. I know the angle that you're going with. It's not going to happen here because that sucked having that fucking shit in my hair so long. But also it was good because it reminded all New South Wales fans, you shit the bed again. You shit the bed again. Do we want to talk about
Let's
Origin
find
again?
something, surely.
You okay? He's coming in to swing it.
Throwing up, I will shave my head completely bald.
you have to do this now.
So let's party. Let's go.
But Travis is already, at 101?
So are we standing him out now?
Yeah, we're sending him out.
So who's going to get the most of the rest of them?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I like
you've
this.
got your choice. I think it's Marnus's.
Bro, I don't want to go through a whole 7-8 months with my hair blonde again, bro.
No, not blonde. I've got one for you.
Not pink. I'm not doing pink.
No, that's fine. I've got one for you.
Guys, I've already laid my nuts on the line, man. Like, I'm not laying my nuts on the line for something that I know shit about.
Yes, you do. You're the most popular. You just said the most popular cricket podcast.
Yeah, you can
in
be
Australia.
popular without knowing shit about it.
Okay. What if I give you Travis Head?
Are you going to... Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want even a chance of fucking dyeing my hair again, bro.
Yeah. Travis Head?
I don't want
reckon you guys Funky Miller.
No.
The Funky Miller blue hair.
What's Travis Head at for most runs to the series?
I'll pull it up.
So?
I mean, there's still a lot of cricket to be played. He's had a good knock, yes, but...
There's 4 tests to go, bro.
Yeah.
Steve Smith is very good.
Yeah,
Travis Head has scored, 150 runs already?
Yeah, listen, look, I know where you're coming from. I respect it, Roo. You've come out swinging, you've come back, and I get it. And
Steve Smith's
you're putting
at 17.
You're putting a lot of pressure on me, and I'm cramped up at the moment, as cricketers would like to say. You're tight on the stumps at the moment. But
you're making him play, which is good.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm on the defence. But also, I actually had to experience the fucking 6 months with the hair like that. I'm not going through that again, bro.
I think I know you better than most, I think you actually started to enjoy it a little bit.
No, bro.
I think you were
starting to feel yourself.
You weren't in a rush to get that out of you.
Okay, you're not understanding. Every picture with my fucking newborn baby, I have blonde hair. I don't want to have the rest of the fucking newborn baby pictures with blonde hair.
Blue hair would be great areas.
Oh, no. Listen, can you let me get through the first year of my beautiful newborn, and then we can make new bets about hair dye?
Big woke Kempy with his blue hair.
Leaguie's going to come on with...
Asking to see the manager. Come on, Roo's going to shave his whole hair bald.
Look, that's one...
I'm putting a lot up. It doesn't have to shave. It doesn't have to be curly hair. It can be something else.
Can I be totally honest? If I didn't have children, I would, but I hate looking back and seeing every...
Think of the children. This is very on brand for a blue-haired woke Karen sort of...
Bro, I don't want to go through another 6 months to have to look back and see my hair shit again.
Throw something else up that's of value for me.
Okay.
Grow a big Travis Head mow and keep that for a while.
They're not going to mow in every picture. Can it not be my appearance? Can it be something else? Can it be something else?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, throw something up.
Well, I'm on the spot here. I'm trying to use my footwork to get around the bowling, but I can't. It's cramping me up.
Travis
I'll tell you what, before the
let's have a think.
When's the next game?
Yeah, let's have a think.
No, we've got a week in a bit.
Yeah, let's have a think.
After next Monday?
Yep.
Yeah, gun. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Let's have a think.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Leave it in the comments. What should Kempy have to do?
But okay.
And the most likes wins. He has to do it.
I'm being serious. I can't go another 6 months with baby pictures with shit hair or something on my face.
Then pick a good batsman. You've got nothing to worry about.
He's giving you Travis Head.
Whereas, if he shaved his head, he can he's got a pommy hat on at the moment. It's bloody the Rose. Look at him. That's a Rose from England.
Let him distract you guys.
That's a Waratah. That's a rugby union Waratah.
Nah, it's English, mate. Waratah's English too.
He's $3, by the way, Travis Head, to be the top run scorer.
Yeah, look, let's just get to know him to think about. I appreciate. Look, I'm under pressure. I'm under the pump like the Aussies after they got out very quickly. But I'll bounce back here. So give me some time.
Find something for
I'll
me
find my
Monday?
Travis Head moment. I'll find it. I just needed time to fucking bring him out. Okay.
Good as gold.
That's 1-0 to Roo. He's come back with a fucking very, very sharp attitude, which I appreciate. Okay, so that's Face Music brought to you by Sportsbet. Make sure to stay tuned because obviously we'll be doing the tips at the end. Next week. Give us a follow on the feed. Anything else going on at the moment?
Just a lot of cricket content over there. Well, it's already started to come out. A couple of the Grubs guys were over in Perth. Did a great job over there. There's a lot more. There's more, stacks of cricket content coming out over the next couple of weeks. So get on the Sportsbet socials.
Get around it. I'm leaving comments, and I don't know if people know I'm taking the piss or not, but I'm always like, yeah, that was me, when they're talking about cricket shit.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the piss, obviously.
Big cricket guy.
Joke ruined. Okay, it's time for Code Sports Story of the Week. Bardo, mate, how are we looking?
2-day test.
Yeah.
First since 1890.
Geez, that takes me back.
Yeah, not what we were expecting, I don't think. We did talk about it last week. Both teams, fairly unreliable batting lineups and very good bowling lineups. So I think, maybe a 3-day test, but all done and dusted in 2 days. Hammy helped everybody out by going to his wedding, which
turning
turned
it
the
off.
match.
You're welcome, people.
But stunning. Like Travis Head, not even man of the match for his 69 ball century, which in itself is extraordinary. But Mitchell Starc was just diabolically good. He's he was forced to step up because no Hazelwood, no Cummins. Mm-hmm. Proved he can be well and truly be the main man. 10-wicket haul, had a couple dropped. Just a stunning performance all round.
Now,
it does set the scene for a potential 5-0 if that's what you're...
and aggregate 8-0 Ashes series victory after the rugby league as well.
Yeah, true. Are England good at anything?
Nah.
I feel like, maybe a few hundred years ago they were good at certain things, but they've kind of been not great lately at anything.
Yeah.
Can't play football anymore. We might beat them in bloody soccer.
Darts?
But who plays darts? It's more of a fun thing. They've tried to make it serious because that's the only thing they're good at. Yeah. Now, very confusing weekend You know, you sit there going, look, I like this, but I don't like this. It's weird. Like, you know, it's entertaining. It's rock star stuff. But at the same time, you know, I say always, but that's really my only, I guess, comparison. But the test against India last year, what I loved about it was this long, we were in it, we were out of it, we were in it. Then Boomer is just telling us up. There was just so much story, so much going on, whereas this was just like a theme park ride almost. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure. I watched a great cricketer after as well, and they summed it up perfectly. I don't know how to feel.
That's baseball, mate. Like, that's just how England plays. Like, they play high octane cricket, and if they play it, you kind of get dragged along along for the ride when you're.
But like the shortest test since 1890, you know. So even baseball hasn't gone this unless it has gone this crazy in ages.
Yeah, I mean this was next level, but I think Australia feeds into that quite well as well because, as we said, 2 great bowling attacks, 2 not so great batting attacks or batting lineups rather, but
except for the goat head.
Yeah, I mean Travis Head, but even he can be hit and miss. Like it's not going to come off every time. I thought like just the first day, England's batting was beyond reckless. It was just borderline disgraceful how they were throwing their wickets away. Like they were relatively comfortable, and the aggression was completely over the top. And then Australia came out, and you were given this golden opportunity on day one to just effectively like end the series.
Well, if anything, I thought Australia looked less comfortable in their opening balls than England. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Australia's batting in the first innings was like was all of the concerns that everybody might have had about an ageing team and unsettled batting lineup. All of those things came to fruition in a pretty crazy day of Test cricket. It was like 19 wickets fell in one day of cricket, and it was not like we talked about the spicy wickets last week.
I said spicy wicket.
I don't think this was a spicy wicket.
Well, you don't know much about cricket though.
I think this was poor batting, and like Travis Head showed how like the lack of spice in this wicket.
Yeah,
you can play your shots, you can score runs, quickly. You just don't do dumb shit.
You're not subscribing to this whole the wicket was just crazy because like some people are just saying the wicket was crazy. That was why both teams sucked.
I don't think so. No, I mean, just look at the dismissals from Australia. Like Alex Carey's dismissal, kind of 8 minutes from stumps was. I mean,
not his best.
Boggled the mind. Like I don't know what he was thinking. That's where you need to play out the day.
Yep.
But England had 5 or 6 of those sort of dismissals where you just shake your head and. Like Jeffrey Boycott saying that they're a brainless cricket team kind of applies, and it applied to Australia in the first innings. And thanks God for Travis Head really, for bringing it home.
How quickly they turn on their own, isn't it? There's a lot of we're going to win 5-0. Like you guys can't handle this, and now they're all like, Boycott's like I'm done with this team. Like I
think we did the same thing. I think there was a bit of that after day one, and everyone kind of deleted their tweets by mid-afternoon.
Yeah, keep them up. Don't be a coward.
Yeah,
keep them up. Don't be a coward. Now, obviously, a lot about cricket, but whatever. From a sporting perspective, this is what I can't understand by the Bazball first, as crazy as they played. You guys aren't that fit. So why are you going out there trying to play this high-intensity cricket that gets and obviously Mike Whitney talked about it as well on the podcast. We had him last week, which is incredible. What I don't get is like, they have terrible preparation. They're going up against a team that you could argue almost had too much prep. Not they didn't, but you know what I'm saying, like good, high-quality shield cricket against each other. So like the second innings from England, they looked completely fatigued. And of course they're fatigued because they've had no fucking preparation. They didn't have a big break between bowling and batting. Am I crazy to say that? Because I don't understand it.
No, it brings up something that I was actually going to talk about, which is England's fast bowling. Like obviously they had this, a plan which has been in the mix for kind of 3+ years. They're going to go all out pace attack. They want the big dogs. They want Jofra, Mark Wood, Gus Atkinson, Bryden Cass, all guys who can hit 140 clicks. And they know that some of Australia's batsmen do not like bowling around that 140 plus 145 mark. So in the first innings, Jofra Archer averaged 144 kilometres an hour with his balls across the first inning. So obviously that's a stat which can be a little bit skewed because of slow balls, etc. But generally he did touch 150. That was his average. Second innings averaged 140. So across those 2 days, consecutive days, he dropped around 4 Ks, and that was consistent with Gus Atkinson, dropped from 138 to 134. and Mark Wood went from 146 to 141.7. So I don't know if the fitness is there for those guys. Like Jofra and Mark Wood in particular have not played an enormous amount of cricket over the past, well, certainly red ball cricket over the past kind of 2 or 3 years. Not a lot of test cricket. I don't know if they're battle hardened for these long days in the Australian summer where you're asking them to do something which is pretty hard. Like, running into Petro Civoniceva is tough, but so is the amount of force that's going through your body as a fast bowler.
Yeah.
I reckon that's a big concern. Like that they dipped on day 2 of the series, I think has got to be a big concern for the England team.
It's almost like a little bit, to a degree, obviously not 1-to-1, but like going against Penrith Panthers and thinking you're going to outgrind them. Yeah. Like it's just like you're not fit enough to do that yet. Maybe you can be fit enough to do it, but like surely there should have been some kind of in the first, especially in their second innings. Sorry, their second innings of batting, they looked like in control for a period there, especially the opening, and then they started playing stupid shots, and I'm like, wouldn't you prolong this as long as possible?
Give your bowlers a rest.
To give your bowlers a rest. And Grant, as I said, it was Mike Whitney that made me look at this, so I'm not saying I picked it up, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%. And like, I think it's a very long summer. I mean, I know they've got a big because this test went so quickly, they've got 3 days of extra rest, and I'm sure they'll use those 3 days wisely, but it's a long summer if you keep putting your bowlers in the field every day. Like, if you don't bat for a full day, I mean, that's a problem. That's going to be a problem for dudes who, haven't played a lot of cricket, put their body through a lot of pain, and we're already seeing the speeds drop. I'm sure those speeds will return after they get effectively a 2-week break before the Gabba test. But yeah, honestly, there's a thing that happened in the last series where England bowlers bowled, I think, on 3 or even 4 consecutive days during one test, and like you need to give them a full day off. And Aussie quicks like Mitchell Starc, he was born for this sort of stuff. Like, he can go all day. Scott Boland's got a great work rate. I thought the dog was wonderful on debut, and also has his reputation as an extremely fit guy. And then potentially you're going to be able to bring either Cummins or Hazelwood, or potentially both of them back at some point mid-series. Like, the Aussie bowlers should be fresher.
Yeah,
they'll embrace. I mean, they didn't bat for a hugely long time in the first innings either, the Aussies, but they're not afraid of that. Like, Steve Smith's not afraid of being on 5 for 75 balls. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
You mentioned about using their time wisely, but apparently they're heading straight to Queensland now for some R&R. They have got another scheduled tour game against the Prime Minister's 11 on next weekend, 2-day game in Canberra. I don't think any of the walk-up starts are playing in that. They're all just chilling out in Queensland for a bit. They've only had one warm-up game. It was against themselves. It's a pink ball game in Canberra as well. Like, probably decent enough prep. I don't know. Given that this game went for 2 days, you would have thought a few might have put their hand up to go and have a trot in this one, particularly the batters, probably.
You could visibly see the difference in explosiveness between their first and second innings. Like, the first innings, I'm sitting there going, holy shit, like, our batters are rattled.
Jofra was terrifying.
Yeah.
First stint,
well, you saw the way that he got Weatherall out. Like, it was clearly just like too quick in the first innings. But second innings, and this has always been the concern with them. Like, they have got some good fast bowlers, but if they get no rest, and they're already, riddled with injury through the rest of their career anyway. Like, they're not going to be able to A, play all 5 tests, and B, give you high quality, like the level that you need to be at, like they were in the first innings. They're not going to be able to sustain it. So, interesting times for them.
Sorry, just quickly before I forget as well, the Code Sports currently have a Black Friday sale going. $19 for the entire year. Use code Black Friday, one word. You don't want to miss this, guys. $19 for the whole year is a joke. It's unbelievable. Now, the question I pose to you might be a silly question. Travis Head. Now, I've seen this to random stats guy, but I already was kind of going to ask the question. So, in 9 innings, I know it's only a small, average is 55. You're probably going to know where I'm going to go with this.
Do you think he should open?
Do you think he should open?
Mate, there's a very good argument to be made there. He's open to it himself. He's quite happy to be the opener. Since David Warner retired, he put his hand up then. When Steve Smith moved up and did a job there, Travis Head put his head up again. So he's open to it. I think he likes the firmness of the ball at the start of an innings. Comes off the bat really, really fast. He is the sort of guy who doesn't hang around. He's really keen to score quickly.
Do we miss Warner's aggression, do you think?
Well, it looked like it on Saturday when we got a little taster of what it used to look like. I mean, that's not just like I like the style of opener who kind of kills the ball and that sort of thing as well. But there is something to be said for a series where potentially there's going to be some low scores from both teams. There's something to be said for, Travis wants to come out and hit a runnable 65 or something. That sets up your innings quite well. Andrew McDonald talked this morning about Usman in particular. They're going to do a bit more investigations into what's going on with his back.
Can I ask this? And look, I really like Uzi I really like him as a batsman. Like as a player, he seems like a lovely guy. 18 holes a day before. Is that true?
That doesn't bother me, to be quite
bothers
honest.
me.
Yeah, well,
it bothers me.
So
he won.
This would be something.
Huh? He won.
Oh, that's amazing.
Shot a good score, but this is something that he's done before every test for past however many years.
At that age, I understand it's his prep or whatever, but when was the last time he opened and killed it?
Well, in his past 20...
Against the top, like India and England.
His past 29 innings, I think he's got past 50 twice, and it was a double ton. Is his
in Sri Lanka.
In Sri Lanka, so that was his that's his last proper knock in 29.
So wouldn't that suggest maybe changing the preparation slightly?
Possibly, but I mean, he's never had a back spasm. This is what the Australian cricket team is saying. He's never had a back spasm. This was totally out of the ordinary. He tweaked it when he leapt up for a catch that cleared him by a metre. But it is. I mean, he's 39 years old. Any back spasm when you're 39? I'm 40, so if my back was spasming, I think I'd be out for the summer.
Yep.
There's a chance. I mean, Australia's going to do their investigations into how bad the back is. I think they're going to name the squad for the Gabba tests at some point this week, possibly later this week. I expect Uzi to be in it. I don't necessarily expect him to be. He's definitely not nailed on anymore for that other opening role. And Andrew McDonald said as much this morning. Said,
okay. So it's a possibility.
Can't guarantee Usman's spot. Can't guarantee Nathan Lyon's spot. Which is only really a talking point because it's the pink ball test, and they didn't play him in the most recent pink ball test in Jamaica.
Yep.
And they don't really use him a lot. They didn't use him a lot in Perth.
Well, he only got one or two overs, didn't he?
Yeah, didn't need him. I mean, if England's only batting for 30 odd overs, Australia's got, with Cam Green, they've got 4 fast bowlers who can do the damage, and you don't need to turn to Nathan Lyon.
Who are you selecting at 1 with Weatherald?
Personally, I'd be going with Travis Head. I liked what I saw there, and I'm a little bit concerned about Uzi against the express pace of 1 plus 140. I think over the past couple of years we've seen him really troubled by Bumrah last year, Rabada when we play South Africa, and even when against the West Indies, Shamar Joseph has really given him trouble. They're the guys who can top out at that 145 plus mark. And against India, you're like, all right, well you get through Bumrah, if Uzi gets through Bumrah, or if anybody else gets through Bumrah, and it becomes a little bit easier. The other guys aren't hitting that max pace. England's got 4 guys who are hitting 140 plus.
Yep.
Uzi's reflexes, I think, the numbers are suggesting that he's slowed down a little bit there. So that's my main concern. And if Trav Head's keen to do it, there's no shortage of guys who can bat in the middle order. Like, there's not many openers. There's not many people who have been putting their hand up to open for the Australian team. We've been scratching around, but there's half a dozen guys who want to bat 6. It's almost a problem.
Any room for Matt Renshaw? Got a 100 in a pink ball game at the Gabba.
Well, he's actually a guy who can also bat 5. He can bat 5 and 6. Doesn't mind that. I don't think he's coming into the conversation necessarily for the opening role. I think he could come into the team potentially. I don't know if he's first cab off the rank. I think Bo Webster would be. But I think it's Usman v Trav Head for the opening role if I was going to put my selector's hat on.
Yep.
Okay. Mate, anything else you got there that you wanted to...
I wanted to talk about Stuart Broad briefly.
I love it.
You have seen
the
reaction, which has just gone global. I'm sure the Sportsbet boys are...
It's in my story.
There's been a lot of his face in slack.
It's just the perfect way to sum up that day of Test cricket, and I've never seen... Like, Stuart Broad is a player who has absolutely tormented Australia for nearly 2 decades.
Still on the mic tormenting us, which I love.
He's unreal. Just a great bowler. Has a super Australian attitude, if I'm honest. Like the way he approached the Test cricket, and that Joe Root dismissal just broke him in an instant. Like the Simpsons, you could pinpoint the moment.
Yep.
That was it. That was just the. That was the moment of the Test for me.
Yeah,
sorry, Trav, and sorry, Mitch Stark. That was it. I love that.
Joe Root's still on the nudie run too. Still no tons.
No tons. Yeah,
far out.
He's got some time, but
net zero.
Yeah, I think one thing we probably should talk about is the fitness battles for Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Aussie Quicks, no dramas there. They did the business, but if you can bring either of those guys in, you absolutely will. I know Pat Cummins is very, very bullish about his chances of returning for the Gabba. He's building up his bowling loads. He's looking exceptional in the nets, and I would not be surprised at all if, in fact, I'd probably be surprised if he wasn't added to the Australian squad for the Gabba Test this week. But again, that's no guarantee that he would make it into the 11, because I think Australia, especially with a 1-0 lead, I think Australia has the flexibility. They can be a little bit more patient with Pat Cummins. You don't want to mess around with.
And Dogger was pretty bloody good.
He was very good. I loved his first over. Exceptional introduction into Test cricket. He got a couple of wickets. Some kind of junky type wickets, like feathered down the leg side. It's always a tough way.
I say that all the time.
Oh no, I'm sure in your junior cricket days you would have hated just those feathers.
Yeah, look, I'll take the wicket though, mate. I'll take the wicket, mate.
But he looked good. He travelled England with his pace. Boland, I thought was, he would admit himself, not great in the first innings. Didn't find the right length. I think he was a little bit full. Then came back and does what he does. Just rip through.
We needed him in the second one. He broke it open.
Oh, he was just exceptional.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need to rush to make changes, but you would if you had Pat Cummins and he was fully fit. I reckon Australia is eyeing off the Adelaide Test for Pat Cummins. The latest mail on Josh Hazlewood is far more concerning. It's gone from, as we discussed last week, it's gone from nothing showing up on the scan to now there's whispers that it's a tendon issue in his hamstring.
Oh my God.
Which, if that is the case, entire summer's potentially in doubt. Australia said this morning that they're still hopeful. I think the earliest you'd see him potentially would be like Boxing Day maybe. But again, if the series goes the way the first test did,
you'd rather give people.
You don't need to rush your veteran fast bowlers.
You'd also you'd rather give young fellas an opportunity. As well.
Absolutely. Yeah, and
we know what Hazlewood can do.
It was really exciting to see a new face. I also thought Jake Weatherall, not a fast bowler, but I thought he batted really nicely in the second innings. As we said, copped a rip snorting delivery in with his second ball in Test cricket, which was a pretty tough introduction to being a Test batsman. But
does that come down? Because was he faced that first ball if he was good to go?
I believe so. I believe that would have been Uzi's role, just to protect not the young guy because he's 30 plus.
Debutant.
Just give him a slightly more friendly introduction to Test cricket. But that was just a debacle as well, and all came down. I don't even necessarily blame Australia for that. Just came down to England lost 4 wickets in about 10 minutes.
Yep. Okay.
They tried. They got him back onto the field and just didn't have enough time to. England didn't hang around long enough for him to get that opening spot.
Yep.
But I think if you're an Australian cricket fan, you're looking at that first test and doing cartwheels because Ashes series, when momentum goes away from you, can tend to spiral pretty quickly.
Yep.
We've already seen the ex-players turn on the England cricket team, which is astonishing considering how
pro they were.
Up and about they were on Friday. But they can spiral pretty aggressively. England will want to get back in a big way at the Gabba, but Mitchell Stark is the pink ball king.
Yep.
Scotty Boland is also tremendous with the pink ball. I think Australia will be firm favourites to go 2-0 up.
$1.39.
Did I ask you, would you go head or Uzi to open?
I reckon they probably will give Uzi a bit more band. Like if his back's okay, they'll probably give him another crack. But I think head. It sounds like now he wants to do it. A couple of years ago, he was like, "Leave me at 5. I don't want that. I don't want that noise up at the top of the order." But listening to him after that game, it sounds like he's changed his mindset a little bit. He liked it. He nailed it.
And his 9 innings, he's averaging 55 as well.
Yeah, really
so
good. A lot of those, that's the first time he's really done it on like kind of hard wickets and stuff. It's usually been over in India or the subcontinent for the balance of the team. But look, he's got all the ingredients there, and if it might balance the team out better because they might, give him an opportunity to bring Webster or someone back in. They're not going to need a lot of, maybe Lyon drops out as well. So
Webster can bowl his
a couple of offies, correct.
Slug. Mate, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Code Sports, guys. Make sure $19 for the entire year. Best, unbelievable deal. And thanks, Buddy, for joining us, mate. Appreciate it.
No worries. $19 will get you Crash Craddock, Ben Horn, Daniel Cherney, all the greats. You can read every bit of cricket news across the summer.
And then in season, I mean, the best of the best work at Code. So, guys, you're not going to get this deal again, maybe next year potentially, but a whole year, $19, you're having a laugh. So, mate, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
Well, thank you. Before we keep talking about the Ashes, just a shout out to the Asian Championships. So, International Rugby League will enter a new frontier when the Philippines host Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore in November's inaugural Asian Championships. I actually asked if I could get out there, which was cool, which is really cool.
Where is it happening?
It is happening in Singapore, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Philippines. It's happening in the Philippines. And obviously, my children are half Filipino. The tournament is set to be the premier rugby league event in Asia and an important opportunity to grow interest and participation in a region with a combined population of more than 700 million. Philippines, Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore will play from November 27 to 29, with teams comprising of non-NRL and Super League players, but including some from New South Wales Rugby League and QRL pathways with heritage to the nation they represent. So make sure to tune into that, November 27 to 29.
I just spent about 5 days in Singapore, so if they weren't favourites before then, I'm sure they are.
Surely, absolutely.
The royal visit.
Listen, I'll be barracking for the Philippines. I'm quite partial to them myself. So, shout out to the crew. Super exciting to see Asian Rugby League, obviously Leaguie. We've got Leaguie's here now. Yes. Welcome back, mate.
It's great to be back. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah.
And just like seeing International Rugby League tournaments like that happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a reminder. People who will say, International Rugby League is fading or whatever, or is dead. I've seen some people say even, an instance like this paired with the Pacific Championships and all that, it's happening. It might be small in a place like, Singapore and the Philippines, but it's growing, it's starting. So really cool to see.
Really cool. So hopefully they can have another tournament that I can get across to, because I would love to do that. And Philippines all the way, baby. I think it's Kayo. That's my brothers, my Kuyus. I think that's how you say. Probably got it wrong, whatever. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? The Kayo can't miss moment. It is the great Travis Head. And I tell you what, the English, they thought they could play cock out cricket, hogs out cricket, but little did they know, unlike a lot of humans, Travis Head was born with his hog out and a cricket bat in his hand. That's all he plays is hogs out footy. Cricket. That's all he plays.
Big cricket guy.
That's all he plays, man. So England thought they had the hogs. They don't have the hogs. Travis Head has the hog. He played hog out. He's hogged out of his mind with a cricket back in hand. And he is our Kayo can't miss moment. What an incredible innings. And I will say, when you think about it, Australia beat England at their own style of cricket, which is embarrassing, to be honest.
Shout out to Brad Hogg as well. Speaking of hogs out cricket. They did. So all the chat's been about Bazball, but clearly Trav Ball is way better than Bazball. I think that's what we've learned out of this. He is so clutch, Travis said. I was talking about this with a few mates. So he had a little bit of a quiet lead into the Ashes, and people going, he's a bit out of form, he's been a bit quiet, but these are all series and stuff that, they're obviously all important, but one day series against India, just a bilateral series, some T20s as well. Big whoop. If he doesn't dominate there or have some match-winning performances there, who cares? When the whips are cracking, he does it so often. So he obviously had the World Cup final in India a couple of years ago. Amazing. He was the standout player there.
Father of India,
big century in that one. He's done it in the World Test Championship final. He scored 170 man of the match there in 2023 as well. He's done it in the Ashes, first test last time at Brisbane, set the tone. Again, did it at a runner ball. When the West Indies nearly upset us, 140 off 140 balls, the only bloke who made runs. When it matters, he gets going. First innings, no batters from either side could make any runs. There was the disruption with Usman. They needed someone to go to the top of the order. First innings, Marnus had been trying to not open the batting for the last 6 months, going, I don't want to do it, put me at 3. And finally, they'd put him at 3. Usman did his back, couldn't come back on. All of a sudden, they had to change it again.
But you could tell they were rattled too. Don't get me wrong, I thought the bowling was better in innings 1, but they were so defensive. They were tight.
Exactly. It's just a little psychological thing. And Marnus, he didn't want to be there. It just disrupted everyone. Smith had to go to 3. Second innings, they go, we're not doing that again. We're going to leave everyone where they're comfortable. what are we going to do?
Let's get our head out.
Let's get our head out. Apparently there was a bit of chat. Legitimately, they were going to throw Nathan Lyon up there to become like a bit of a night watchman, just sit up there, get the shine off the ball, a bit block.
Yeah, wow.
Travis said in the rooms, goes, give me a go. I'll do it.
Where do you rank the call from Steve Smith there to do that? Because yes, Head put his name forward, but it was Steve Smith that said, because that's I'll speak about Stokes in a little bit because I think, he's a gambler. I think that suits him as a player. I don't know if it suits him that much as a captain. I think he's too extreme. But that's a big gamble from would you say Steve Smith is a conservative type player? Maybe he's not.
He's actually he's very, tactically he's great, I reckon. Really smart.
Huge call that saved us the test.
Yeah, well it did. It was a bit of a punt, like obviously, Travis Head could have gone out there and, done like Jake Weatherall did in the first. He'd gone early. However, the upside of it is he can strike at 150, completely take the game away from them, beat them at their own game. It just completely rattled England. They had no plan for it. Any bowler would come on. He was just hitting them for 3 or 4 boundaries in 1 over. No one could settle. It really was one of the best test innings ever.
Seen. Third fastest Australian 100 in history.
Yes. They might be equal third, maybe, 69 balls. Adam Gilchrist hit one in 59 balls at the Wacker a couple of years ago.
What day was that? Do you recall?
Yeah, and Gilchrist came out, he goes, I did it in 40-degree heat when the bowlers were completely buggered. Everyone had 3 or 4 other blokes in the team had already got centuries. Yep. Head did it with the series and the game on the line.
And we were done.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he goes, Heads was better than mine.
Incredible.
I think just given the circumstances and the context, this was such an important tone-setting century.
Well, it's like one of those rare times where in a team sport, he essentially single-handedly won us the game. Granted, I understand everything that happened before him and was a lot of Stark.
Yep.
But basically, I know he ended up getting out and, we won by 8 wickets, but he basically won the game while he did bat.
I like that he got out because he got his own personal round of applause.
Yeah, 100%.
Soak it up. But yes, I think your meme hit the nail on the head with him carrying his balls around in a big wheelbarrow. That's essentially.
Yeah, well, I've got in my notes here. The only thing bigger than Head's hog is his nuts.
Yep. Can't argue with that. Because
the analysis they come for.
Yeah,
that's right.
You don't want to read my notes for the day?
Go on.
Oh, so this is the first inning notes. Fuck. Because you guys know I obviously do notes when I watch stuff, so I've got it.
Of course.
After we got England out for 172, I'm thinking, these guys are a disgrace. They may disband their entire country. They may even be sent back here as convicts. After we started getting bowled, it almost felt like we'd been yelling to the 4 corners of the nation. We had huge pieces, only for England to pull our pants down and reveal an Australian micro-penis. We were the bloke at the club going back and forth with a lovely young lady, celebrating all the things we were about to do together when we got home, only to blow in our pants at the door. We did all the hard work, found a lovely young lady that wanted to go home with us, only to embarrass ourselves. That was after the first inning.
Yep.
So very negative chat.
Yep.
Very, very negative chat.
Yep.
This is after the second innings, after Hoghead. Head's hog. England thought they could play hogs out fast-paced cricket against Australia. What England didn't account for is, unlike most humans, Head was born with a bat in hand and his hog out while spaghetti western music played. Because he's a gunslinger with a huge hog only dwarfed by his gigantic nuts. Usually described as elephantitis, whereas Australian doctors simply described it as a young man that's about to crush pommies for a living.
Yeah.
That's the notes.
Really hard to argue with any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Succinct?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I think it says that in the Bible, actually.
Yeah, well, I think Gandhi said that, to be honest.
Real theatre of the mind stuff there.
That's the notes. And then obviously I've got all the other stuff down here. Here's another note. What I liked as an absolute nuffy with cricket is, so they got Vaughan and Warner after day 1 out on the wicket showing what went wrong, what do they need to change. I was thinking why don't rugby league at half time get Joey or something out there going, this is what's going wrong and this is the line speed's the issue, or this is where they need to be kicking. Why don't we have ex-legends out on the field at half-time showing us what's happening in the game? Because I just think as a newbie to cricket, I'm sitting there going, okay, fucking inside leg and all that shit, I don't know what's going on. But it sounds cool and I'm learning shit. Whereas rugby league, we just go to half-time and they say a bunch of words that I think the wider audience is I don't know what this guy's talking about. Whereas if you had blokes on the field, obviously I'd get them to wear fucking footy boots because they'd slip over in their shoes, talking about this is the area in which the field where they need to really build pressure and the line speed. Here's the A defender. This is what I need to do. At half time, I'm feeling like people that are wider audience would be sitting there going, shit, that's really insightful. But we take it for granted. And I'm guilty of it too. When I talk about footy, people go, oh man, that was really insightful. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just talking it's so obvious what that is. Anyway, that's another note I had.
No, I like it. They do it very well, the Fox cricket coverage.
It's really, really good. The other note I had, Stokes is a gambler. He pushes way too far sometimes. He didn't have the preparation to do what he did. He wanted this kind of intense Australia. But Australia have been playing intense cricket much more than England have in preparation. They're way more comfortable with their fitness late game than England is, even though it wasn't late game. Is that a fair statement that they didn't actually have the prep to play like they played?
I thought it was bad prep.
Yeah.
They played a game against themselves out here on a pitch that was very different. Yeah, it was in Perth, but it was at Lilac Hill, which is like typically a lot slower and lower. Bad preparation. It was.
Yeah.
Australia were playing like, there was one day series and T20, like different formats of cricket, but it was against good opposition, against India in, obviously Aussie conditions. And then they sent a lot of guys back to have at least 1 or 2 games of Sheffield Shield to lead into it. So far better prep, and I think it showed. They had their moments there. England, like Stokes, he took 5 for 23 in the first innings. Like, here we go. He always kind of has a little moment at least where he puts the team on his back a little bit. But yeah, second innings, just they didn't have any answers for Head, and we had some good numbers before about how their speeds dropped in that second innings. That's a problem given that the first innings was only so short. Yeah, they didn't have a huge turnaround time and a rest either, but it's not like they were out there for 2-3 days, being asked to. What happens if the Aussies do bat like that in one of these tests, and that does happen? It looks like they're really going to drop off, and they're not that much.
And also,
fit.
What are they going to be feeling like? If their fitness is this poor now, and they're not willing to play any games in between, what are they going to be like by the 5th test?
Yeah, I think their approach to this usually is we have a soft lead in and we take a little bit of rest early because it keeps us fresher later in the series. That's kind of their thinking.
But you need a base.
No, you do. You need to be able to come in with a little bit of, especially when you're somewhere where it's really hard to win and the conditions are a bit foreign like it is here.
You look at Australia, they started so dog shit, but because they had the base, when the game got tough, they got into their normal rhythms and feel because they've done it so many times. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's almost a little bit like Broncos in the finals run, because they were so fucking fit. It's like they would start a bit flat, and then by the time the game got into the nitty gritty, that's where they love to be.
Yep.
So still talking about this, are we?
Grand final.
Ancient history.
We can talk about Origin if you want.
No.
New South Wales prep was just shocking.
Yeah. Service of the week brought to you by Aspley Mazda. It obviously is Mitchell Starc. It's Mitchell Starc. Unbelievable stuff. 758 in the first innings, and obviously he ended up with 10 for 120 or whatever. Incredible performance by Mitchell Starc. He won man of the match. So Starc is the service of the week. He's serving the nation with the nation's forearm. Brought to you by Aspley Mazda. Give Luke a follow, LDC_01. Currently got a massive special on newscast for the bloke community only. And always, a massive thank you to Aspley Mazda and Lukey for supporting the platform. Look, I feel like obviously he's going to get a lot of credit for this innings, and I don't know, maybe it's just my feeling, but because it was such a pro bowling everything, this test.
Yep.
I feel like he's not getting as much appreciation as he should, even though he's getting a lot.
Yeah.
Bizarrely.
Yes. I would agree. Yeah, and the degree of difficulty was a lot harder for him because usually, he's got
He didn't really have, Boland wasn't great in that first
Boland
innings.
wasn't. I said it before, as soon as I turned the TV off, that's when he hit his straps in that second session on day 2. But before that, he was probably the worst I've seen him bowl for Australia. And a lot of commentators would say the same. We're saying the same
Whereas
thing.
Doggett helped a little bit with pressure, but compared to the innings of the England bowling attack, they were all applying pressure.
They were on, and that was that little snapshot we saw in the first innings. Like, geez, if they can keep this up, it'll be tough. They obviously weren't able to do that. But Starkey, usually he's got Cummins and Hazelwood with him. Didn't have him here, so really had to step up, and had a guy on debut. He had Scott Boland, who's kind of in and out of the team. He had a lot of responsibility, and absolutely nailed it. Really got his best career figures in the first innings, 10 wickets for the game.
I think I heard the commentator, is it Skull?
Yep.
Say best opening bowler ever or something like that.
Yeah.
First innings bowling ever.
He's got like 25-ish wickets in the first over of an innings.
Wow.
Which is
Stokes out 11 times, which is he's the most of any seamer.
Yep.
And also going to surpass, I forgot his name now, on 414 wickets at his next thing as well.
Yeah, was it Wazim Akram maybe?
Yeah, probably that. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Over 400 test wickets.
Is Starc underrated?
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. And the guy, because we just take for granted, we've probably got the 4 bowlers that we've got 4 of the best that have ever played. And, when we see them in unison so often, seeing one, separate a little bit from the pack, or seeing Starc, one of them on their own, probably just highlights how good they are because you can compare them to what's around them. Like, I think so. I think, like, obviously, he's got the 400 test wickets or whatever, but usually all the chat's about Cummins or, you know, Hazelwood's really, really good as well, but has been impacted a lot more by injury. But the thing with Stark is not only is he so good, but he's probably the fittest, most durable. He's 35 as well.
Yeah, wow.
And still, you know, getting around. I don't know what his exact numbers were, but he's not dropping below 140 too often as well.
Yeah, wow.
Swinging the ball, nice big high, like he's a real handful. High release point, just a nightmare for batters to face, and he was unbelievable in this game.
Do we have a batting problem in this nation?
Yeah, probably a little bit. Probably, and a couple of like freakish innings from some of these guys. Again, like generational players probably occasionally paper over the cracks. But yeah, I mean, Usman, back injury aside, he's been a little bit frail for a little while there. We're trying a new guy at the top, Weatherwood at the moment.
Just with the 18 holes, and I understand what he's saying. That's been his prep for a long time, but his form hasn't been great. I feel like you've got to tinker with preparation a little bit as an older man.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
it just doesn't read particularly well. I think it's like, you know, he's out playing golf the day before a game.
18,
and he's back without even facing a ball. You know, it's not like he's a bowler or someone where you're probably a little bit more likely to get injury. Like,
I just struggle.
That is like, it's that's an old man injury now. Like you,
but like if you're trying to tell me that 18 holes of golf most likely didn't contribute to back spasms the next day, I just find that hard to believe.
I probably agree.
Yeah. Now I want to be clear. Like maybe it still would have happened. Yeah. I don't know. I just. Is he 39 now?
Yeah, he's 39,
39, and I understand it's been his prep forever, but he hasn't been great for, 3-4 years now? I know there was a innings against India last year where he was pretty good, but he hasn't been great for a few years now.
Yeah. He's certainly passed his best a little bit.
Maybe tinker?
Yeah.
He's averaged 18 in his last 6 home tests. So
wow.
Yeah.
He's suggesting some putt mate,
look, you know what? Maybe 9. Give me 9 holes. 18. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Before a 5-day test? I don't know. Like, I know it's been his prep for a while, but I just, having played, obviously nowhere near as his level or whatever, but having played professional sport, there might be some footy players out there that will play 18 holes a day before, but I don't think there'd be any strength and conditioning coaches that would like that happening. You know, they might allow it because it's been their prep and mentally is better than physically at times.
Yep.
Back spasm, I don't know. You're right. Doesn't read well.
Yep.
Anything else about the Aussies? And we'll get into England quickly.
No, look, 2 great performances from, you know, obviously Head and Stark. It'll be interesting to see what they tinker with, what they change for the next game. Maybe the Usman back injury solves a few problems for them. Leave Head at the top there, get Webster back in and give yourself a little bit more batting, which will probably be important for a pink ball game. But this for me was that was the test that England had the best chance of winning. They blew it. I think it's going to be a very, even it was already, but I really can't see them threatening from here.
Now, just quickly on England before we move on. I thought Brooks and Pope, especially Brooks. Is it Brooks or Brook?
Brook.
I thought Pope had a really good first innings.
Yep.
But I thought Brook was really the only batter that I felt really almost dictated terms. Like I felt like there was a period there where Stark was just dominating first innings. And then I thought Brook came in and he was the only real English batter where I was like, wow, the momentum and hold of momentum right now, he is dictating that to a degree.
Yeah, he definitely did that in the first innings. Obviously, the only player to pass 50 in the first innings. He's like a bit like Kevin Peterson used to be back in the day. Got a bit of swagger, played some unusual shots, dances around the wicket. Like he went after Boland in particular, didn't he?
Yep.
Whacked him over cover and danced down the wicket to him a few times. He'll probably have a few knocks during this series that are important.
He's a young fella, isn't he, Brook?
Yeah, he's pretty young. He's now the vice captain. He's been around a little while, but
so if he keeps going the way he's going, seems like he's gonna be a great batter.
Correct. Yeah, he's a freak. So he's one that we'll have to sort of definitely be wary of. But I'd agree. He probably had the momentum going England's way in the first innings. Pope I thought was all right across both. Probably doesn't scare you as much, but he looked pretty in control and comfortable, and he's toured out here before.
What do you think they were thinking in that second innings where they were under control, 1 for 62 or some shit like that, 1 for 65?
Yep.
And you're sitting there going, okay, the boys got control here. They'll just give their bowlers some rest. Then they just went insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Well, Boland found his radar by the looks. You know, as soon as they came back out of that second session, he went bang, bang, and he took 3 for not many. But yeah, he knocked over Duckett pretty soon after the tea break, and once he got his mojo working, he is the sort of bowler that can kind of suffocate you a bit. He didn't do it in the first innings or the first part of the second.
Like Rue at the start of this show suffocated me a bit there with the football.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah,
really similar.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it was just a combination of good bowling.
Yep.
Look, the batting wasn't great, but it wasn't. I just think they got just some good bowling, put the pressure on them.
Okay. Okay, let's get into it, boys. Let's get into it. The footy chat. Boys have been sitting there basically like, you didn't need me in here for the first
Well,
hour.
just before we do, I was actually having some beers with some mates the other day watching the cricket, and we went through our stats on our last man stands.
Yeah.
Which is
I don't know what that is.
cricket comp, but they keep your stats for every single game.
Okay.
Are you playing?
I played about 5 or 6 years ago.
Nice.
Do you want me to run you through some of my numbers?
Yeah, of course, mate.
Wasn't a great batter, I'll be honest with you. We do have a batting problem in Australia. 36 innings, only 284 runs, not great. High score 45, average 10.92. That wasn't where I did my best work.
Okay.
It was a decent bowler.
What are you bowling?
Wow.
Off spin slow, won't shock anyone.
Nice.
117 overs, 26 wickets. My economy though, Hammy, 5.99.
Yeah, not bad.
Is this a video game or actual cricket?
No, this is actual fucking cricket.
No way.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, terrible
last
batsman.
man
I was
stands.
petrified of it.
There's like 8 fielders on the field, isn't there as well? There's
Yes, exactly
people.
right, yeah.
that's not bad.
Yeah, it's
good
tough.
going, Roo.
Damn.
Less
How
than
many
on the
years ago
ball.
was this?
10 maybe.
Bit of spin about you, eh?
So I'm currently ranked in the world 69,655.
69.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Is that
Not 6'7".
Yes.
The 69, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, you got to stay retired now if you're. in the 69.
Wow, okay. Bit about you. Okay, bit of spin. Bit of Gary Lyon about you.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
You're not the only athlete on the panel.
Okay, let's get into it, shall we? Grumpy Coffee upside down moment is obviously the Jaden Campbell signing. I'll just throw straight to you boys. The Black Friday sale is on right now. Do not miss it. Campbell signs till 2031. I thought it was really interesting the quote that he made. We've been speaking a bit last few weeks about you'd be surprised at the amount of players that would take less money for lifestyle. And he did say, moving to Perth away from my family was a big reason. And when you look over the 5-year deal, he probably said no to about $1 million, probably more. And so, again, I think you would be surprised how many players go, no, I'm comfortable here or whatever. Granted, I understand one's 900,000, one's $1 million or whatever, but it's still a lot. I love this signing for the Titans. I think they would be in a world of bother if they didn't get it. What do you reckon, roommate?
I think it's a really good point you make about lifestyle and all that. Like even just talking to my brother and his mates, some of them are having to make these decisions, and a lot of them just want to stay in Sydney and want to live near a beach, all that sort of stuff. That it really does matter to them at that age. Jesus, even when I read that, I see 2031. I go, how good's that for the Titans? There's just this cynical voice in my head that goes, how many clauses are in that bad boy?
Yeah, okay.
That's my first thing I think of when I see these.
Surely this new administration is like, no, not happening. You reckon?
I'll believe it when I see it.
True.
You know what I mean?
We've thought that before.
Yeah, I think Jaden Campbell's probably your best hope at that because he obviously loves the area. I love the quote he gave about, old man played here, all that sort of stuff. So I'm just interested to see what Jaden Campbell, I don't know what position he's going to be playing in 2 years, let alone 5 years. I'm just so intrigued to see how they make it work with him.
So, Hannay said locked into 7 no matter what.
Do you think he's a 7? Or do you think he's just the best pick for 7 up there?
I think he has the talent to be a 7. We saw this year. I thought he was incredible. Again, it's the defence. His defence actually was pretty good this year, but that's really the question I have.
I think the other thing with him is if he's going to be a halfback long term, the Titans need to get a top 5 forward back. They need to have it, I think.
Yeah.
I think if they're not dominating the middle, I think life is going to be very, very difficult for him. As it is for all guys, but especially a guy that's shifting to halfback and sort of learning it on the fly. It's a lot.
Leaguie, what do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, if you're going to be playing Campbell 7, Brimson 6 and Keeney fullback, you need to have momentum going down the field. I mean, look, in terms of whether he can be a 7, when you see the transformation of Jerome Hughes from, say, 7 or 8 years ago, I definitely have faith that Campbell can do it, but they just need to really commit. I look at, say, Lachlan Ilias going up there, who's a very different style of halfback to Jaden Campbell, and I'm like, I try and figure out what their vision is there because they can play with him at 7. It'll be maybe more of a Kieran Foran style, but you've got 2 very different directions you can go, and at the Titans, the one thing that they need is a stable vision. So I want to see them commit and decide on a sort of mantra to go with.
What do you reckon the Lachlan Ilias signing says? Because surely he didn't sign to be backup again.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, if he was just going to be a backup, why not stay at the Dragons? That's the position that he was in. But I really don't get it because, as I say, they're completely different styles, and it does sort of scream that maybe they'll start with Campbell there, and then if things don't go well, they'll change completely. Which, in my opinion,
I don't like that.
Yeah, if you want
Lock in.
Campbell to be halfback, back him completely. Even if it does go badly.
Thoughts on the Campbell signing to 2031? Are you with Rue with the whole clauses thing, or what are you feeling?
It didn't enter my mind. If there are clauses in there, then certainly that is cause for concern. But I remember I saw it and I thought it's as great a sign as it is a signing for the Titans, because you've got a player that is there and wants to stay there and will reject massive money from Perth. I'd be a little bit concerned, to be honest, if I was Perth. I know there's the whole family thing, but they threw a lot at him.
5 year, 1.2 or something, wasn't it, each year?
So not being able to get a guy out of the team that finished second last, that is a concern. But yeah, if the Titans' vision includes Campbell at halfback, a very modern style, off-the-cuff attacking style, he's the guy you want there.
Yeah.
I think with Ilias, it's really interesting. Like, I can't really work out why he's gone there. I don't see what it does for Lachlan Ilias.
The only thing I could think of is, and I don't know for sure, I watched a little bit of his interview with Josh Mansour. The quote was, I didn't feel I got a fair chance to get back into the first grade side. The only thing I can think of is, like, at the Dragons, he was just, like, pretty much on the outer. And so, like, why not go and play reserve grade on the Gold Coast, where it's a beautiful place to live, probably on the same amount of coin, I'd assume, because they should have money in the cap. I just think that Ilias Flanagan relationship, especially with, Braith being on, the panel at 360, so he has his opinion on Lockie there. I think that probably had played a fair part in it.
Yeah, and from that perspective, I think it's fair.
Yeah.
Going to the Titans are just like...
Surely go back up at one of the big clubs.
That's what like, they've also got young Zane Harrison up there, who I think is going to be a very good player in the future, who I think they'll be looking to get it right there. So, I can't see this working out as Ilias being the halfback for the Gold Coast Titans, personally. But, I mean... There's not a hope in hell I can see him in the Dragons fucking halfback.
Yeah, I mean, he's not getting in that jersey.
So, I guess, but I don't know, it just seems a little sideways to me.
It's so important for him as well, because he's 25, so if it doesn't work out, they're not going to be clubs queuing up to take a chance on him, in my opinion. I think that this is a really, really big year.
Essentially Super League for him then, really. Yeah. And we're talking about a guy that he's a bloody good footy player. Like, he's a bloody good footy in Ilias. He took a team to a prelim. Yeah, look, I like the signing. I hope there are no clauses. The clauses would give me a lot of concern. Now, I understand they would need to do it because the Perth Bears are throwing so much money at him, but it's like, I just think as a club, at some point they're going to make a firm stand on this stuff, and I just think the length of the contract is, 20? So it's about 5-6 years now, the length of the contract?
There has to be clauses in that thing. Like,
over their pro club.
I like what they're doing there. I like the optics, but like, he's 3 weeks into the era of Josh Hannay. With new clubs coming and everything, I think you'd be crazy to re-sign for 5-6 years without having any clauses in there. Like, it all looked great when Haslett arrived, remember? Like, good on Jaden Campbell. He's the most loyal bloke in the world. Credit to him, and credit for the Titans for, bringing a guy through like that.
It's a really good point you bring up. New coaches do usually bring clauses, because it's like, I don't know how this guy's going to be. I don't know what this club's going to be doing. I hope, and look, I know Matty Johns has said I've got nothing to do with the NRL. It's all about the juniors, but I hope at least like Matty, Gordy, Josh have kind of given enough hope to these players that are staying that it's like, all right, I'm getting paid, $800K a year or $900K a year. I'm locked in for 5 years. We'll see. I tell you what, like, contracts these days, though, like, Jesus Christ, they like not even worth the paper they're bloody written on these days. It's insane. Quickly, Campbell re-signing, mate?
Yeah, like it. I actually like him at 7. A little bit different, a little bit, kind of some flashy kind of attack. Even though it is a little bit, they're all fullbacks probably when coming through. Like, that have probably found the best way to kind of balance it out or bring the best out of them in this kind of like rejig spine. It's like very attacking and whatever. They do obviously need a little bit of momentum to go off the back of, but glass half full. I reckon they could play some really attractive football with those 3 guys kind of pulling the strings there. So
one thing I would say though is, like, and I know they're a bottom tier club right now, but the length of some of these contracts with all of their players, like Brimo 2030, Kinney 2030. You are locking yourself into these guys, whether it's injuries, form, disgruntlement, whatever it is. But I think that Campbell deserves a lot of credit. I really do. He could have gotten essentially $1 million more over 5 years. And also, like, going over to Perth, like, out of the limelight, when you talk about the least pressure of a player, like, it probably is going and playing at Perth because, but initially there'll be a lot of eyes on it, a lot of spotlight. But if they just come in and play poorly, like they just won't really be spoken about that much and so you're getting paid $1.2 million a year to play a bit of footy. Yeah, of course you want to win, but there's not really going to be that much negativity kind of thing. Like, there'll be negativity, but you know what I'm saying. There's not this huge base that's going to absolutely smash you if you play poorly. But yeah, that's our round upside down. Happy for the Titans. Love the direction they're heading in. Just going to wait and see how it all unfolds. We haven't spoken to this about, mate, Roo, because you've often been gallivanting around half the world, mate. While we're here grinding away, but it's all good, mate. You know, you just do your thing.
Good to see someone else take a carry occasionally.
Thoughts on the Kobe Black situation to the Raiders? Because we actually haven't asked you that, mate.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I get it from Brisbane's point of view. If you put a gun to my head and said who's going to be the better player in 5 years, I would go Kobe Black personally. I think he will be. But he's untested. Jonah's obviously not only done it in first grade, but done it in finals games. I get it 100%. I think the Broncos, if I'm in charge of the Broncos right now, I think they're in a win-now window. So going for the guy that has played first grade, that has played finals, I get it 100%. But I personally think they are going to regret letting Kobe Black go.
Okay.
I am so intrigued how he's ended up at the Raiders.
Well, a bit of a sneaky mail. So we got wasn't an anonymous, but an Instagram message saying something about he signed to play with his best mates. Do your research in the Insta. So I was like, we were trying to figure, what does that mean? Maybe it's just a nothing thing. Then we got another message, and the message said, hey, mate, was listening to Money Potty and heard you say you got a message saying Kobe Black went to Canberra to play with a mate and people he knows. He's been best mates with Saxon Inns, who is with Burley fullback for Melbourne England under 19s, who was just spotted at Canberra Raiders training.
Interesting.
So maybe that's all dribble, but maybe it truly is, because there was an article about them also jagging Saxon, who I think had an affiliation with the Broncos.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it could be, I'm third in the pecking order. I get to go down there on a pretty decent wicket, play with my best mate, try and do something. Because he's disconnected from the Reece Walsh, Payne Haas, Carrigan generation that all kind of agreed to each other, let's win a premiership together.
Yeah.
So maybe he's sitting there going, I want to do that down in Canberra.
I also think it's really interesting for Sanders down in Canberra too. Like, optically, I don't think it's great for him. Like, he's been, he's going to be the guy for the last 2 years, and Kobe Black comes to the market. They jump straight at him. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, that at the time I didn't think too much about, but in hindsight, like, we got to that finals game and Strange gets ruled out. He's got the illness. Now, Sanders has already been cut from the 24-hour. The Raiders apply to the NRL to get him back in. The NRL says no, which personally I think is bullshit. He should have been allowed to play, in my opinion. He wasn't. Did you hear Ricky Stewart complain about it?
True.
You didn't hear a thing about it. He had to play Simi Sasungi at 5'8" in a semi-final, and Ricky complains when the sun comes up earlier than it should. He didn't say anything about it. So it's things that are starting to add up, but I guess to Sanders' advantage, he's going to be first to market. He's got this year to own that jersey.
Yeah. And it was reported that they did try to keep Fogarty for an extra year or something like that. So it's like, it's not necessarily...
makes sense because they're in a win now.
Of course.
Again. Yeah.
And they probably weren't sitting there thinking that at the start of the year. I know they say, but, there's saying it and then there's really feeling it kind of thing. Leaguie, have we spoken about Kobe Black at all?
We have not.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the situation, mate?
There's a lot that has already been said. I like the notion of Ricky Stewart harnessing the power of friendship to build the next generation.
Big friend guy.
Power of love, absolutely. I can't stop thinking about the Sanders aspect of it. Because we've seen him get a few games of first grade here and there. But yeah, the key thing is that he gets the jersey this year. It is a bit faster than they had planned for, certainly. When Fogarty did leave, I believe I remember Ricky Stewart saying that they were after one experienced halfback.
Yeah, which they didn't get, which is interesting.
So we'll see how he goes. But yeah, when you have someone of Kobe Black's talent and reputation coming into that jersey, it's now quite a high-pressure environment. And particularly given that Ricky has built this young spine of Paddy, Strange, and Weeks at the back, that 7 jersey is a huge, huge pressure position. So we'll see if he stands up to it.
Thoughts on the Raiders recruitment? Undercover, has it been the best recruitment of any club in the competition over the last 12 to 16 months?
Just on Kobe Black, though, very concerning for Broncos fans. Kobe Hetherington leaves, Kobe Black leaves. The rush for the exits. Madge is training him too hard. Is what I'm hearing.
God.
Club in crisis.
Right, you just worry about making fucking the top 10, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do the AFL for you. We'll get the top 10 instead of play finals.
Let's go.
Then maybe the Tigers will be able to play a bit of finals footy if that's the case.
Okay. Rush for the exits, mate. I'll be very concerned as a Broncos fan. Very concerned.
Thoughts,
in answer to your question, though, I think without a doubt.
Yeah. It'd be incrable. And the clubs they've taken it from.
A lot of Sydney guys, with all due respect,
respectful, of course,
dickhead that usually sits here. Guys don't want to move down there.
Yeah.
Look at
the clubs they got them from too. Roosters, Broncos, Eels, a relatively big club at the time.
Yeah,
still are,
sure.
but
and all these guys were in good spots at their clubs. They weren't completely screwed. Like
like Strange was, when you think about it now, Strange is Savala.
Yes.
At the Roosters.
Like, I know he hasn't made it to first grade, but like Chevy Stewart 2 years ago, like I think we were all waiting for someone to replace Will Kennedy.
Well, he was almost...
Still kind of hard to some extent. Like, he was in a good spot as well. He was loved at Cronulla. He suddenly made the move down there. Ethan Strange did the same thing. It's been incredible to watch how they've gone about it. Like, we'll see how it plays out over the next few years. I'm confident he'll be a freak, but like, I don't give a fuck where Owen Paddy was. He was better than anyone that was there. And they've managed to get him down there to then go and sign Jaden Brayley and keep Tom Starling as well. Like, the culture down there is incredible.
And as Timmy often says, it's hard to get players into Canberra, but it's not hard to keep them there. They stay there.
Yeah.
So there's some magic that Ricky has. I know it's not the city. Living in the city, it doesn't make you want to stay there.
Yeah.
But something Ricky's done that really makes him want to play for that jersey.
Yeah. It's it is a testament to allowing a coach time to build a culture. There are some Raiders fans, like, or even maybe non-Raiders fans, like, oh, come on, mate, like, you know, one grand final in 11 years or whatever it is. But, you know, when you consider what's the word? I guess things standing in their way to recruitment and stuff like that, the culture that Ricky Stewart's built, because he's been given time to do it. Like, we get coaches in like 2 or 3 years, and granted, sometimes I'm of the mind of like, this is just not working. But Ricky Stewart, I think the thing that always was in his advantage is like, you never watched a Raiders side and said, oh, they gave up. They didn't have a dig or whatever. Like, they've always played probably to their ability as a team. And so this is the benefit of long-term backing of Stewart.
The other thing that I think a lot of these young guys, you know, like you got Strange, Kobe Black, Owen Paddy, they're all in key positions. Positions that Canberra cannot get players in. They cannot pay them to go down there.
The best of the best of the young, like of the young crop. Most clubs would be like, I want you.
Yep.
Like, think about how many clubs would have taken Kobe Black a couple of years ago if he was like, I'm ready to go here.
But I reckon part of Ricky Stewart's sell is, hey, I can't get the superstars. I've got you, and I will give you the best, biggest group of motherfuckers of a forward pack to play behind.
Yeah,
to lay you a good platform, and I think they'd find that very appealing.
It's a good point. And they've handled their salary cap so well that they can pay him a little bit more that gets them across the line as well. So, mate, incredible stuff. Okay, Blake Steep's story. Steep was awarded the bravery medal for rescuing his father Brent in the heavy seas while spearfishing at Delicate Nobby, 15 kilometres north of Port Macquarie, on the morning of Jan 4th this year. As they were spearfishing, Blake noticed his father had dropped his spear gun and was floating face down. 20-year-old swam him to a rock platform and after many attempts got him on the rocks, suffering lacerations in the process. His father had a difficulty breathing and speaking. It was evident he was suffering a medical emergency. The young rooster then swam 400 metres to the beach to call Triple O and then swam back to care for his father on the rock shelf. His father was conveyed to Prince of Wales Hospital where he underwent successful open heart surgery. The medals are presented in recognition of exceptional bravery and demonstrating the highest regard for human life. What an incredible story. Saving your old man like that. Giving me goosebumps. Jesus. Swimming 400 metres. Like, I know that sounds like, oh, run 400 metres. Swimming 400 metres. You know how long that is, bro? To drag, and also to drag a body that's sent, like, the weight that's, I'm not going to say lifeless because it wasn't, but you know what I'm saying. To drag that onto the rocks and then administer whatever you need to administer. That's an incredible story from Blake Steep. Incredible.
He'll captain that club one day.
You reckon?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Even visually, when you look at him, he is just Boyd Corden all over. He's got a fucking bum chin. He's got a build. He's tough as nails. He's a really good kid, Blake Steep. Like you would never say with a story like that. It doesn't shock me, but like you can just tell.
He's cut from the cloth.
He's destined, yes, for good things.
Yeah, wow. Thoughts, mate?
I mean, you guys are impressed. I think it's part and parcel for the Roosters to be honest.
Oh my
it just speaks
God.
volumes about
Jesus
our culture.
Christ.
We just go above and beyond. I know as a Broncos fan, you might not be familiar with that kind of standard, but our players will swim 400
You make
meters
me
for anything.
sick. As they announce DCE signing, buying another premiership, I go, oh my God.
I'm never coming on this pod again.
The thoughts that you've got, like, you know, all jokes aside, have such an upstanding... And then, like, I understand we all would have done it for our father. It's one thing to say you would have done it, and it's another thing to actually fucking do it. And he did it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's no words that can really talk about and do credit to something like that. It's incredible to have such a young guy, 19 at the time, doing that and to have him be part of the organisation. Like, obviously, something like that is much bigger than footy. But you think about a game of rugby league when they're in the trenches, everything's going against you, and you really need to get something from deep within.
Yeah.
He's shown that he can do that, and all of his teammates will know that he's shown that he can do that. So really
incredible.
exciting.
Absolutely incredible. What do you think, thoughts, mate?
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, I hadn't heard that story yet, but just all the little factors that play there, kind of, and the problem solving on the fly and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to sit him over here. I'm going to swim back now. Then I'm going to have to go back. Like, remarkable stuff.
To stay calm under pressure like that, that's your old man.
It is, but amazing kind of like leadership qualities and all that sort of stuff there, and obviously a great ending there that he's managed to save his old man. But what a remarkable series of events there for Blake Steep and his family.
I was in New Zealand last year to watch Josh play Flegg, and then Cup played after, and it was one of Blake Steep's first games in New South Wales Cup. And he came from the field after being on for about 5 minutes, and his jaw was just hanging, and it looked, like those sickening jaw injuries.
Yeah, it's just like a weird.
Thanks. There's just bones floating around in skin there. And I sort of went, that's too bad. Like, he probably would have played a bit of first grade this year, and his season's over. He played the next week.
Oh my God, bro! What the hell? So he's Boyd Cordner reincarnated.
He is Boyd Cordner. Yes.
Wow. Boyd Cordner, one of the great men of rugby league that I don't think he gets enough appreciation how hard of a man he was. He was truly, in any era, he's going with the best of them when it comes to toughness.
That's the thing about him. He's timeless. In any era, he would have been he'll be as effective in 50 years as he was 50 years ago.
I remember telling a story of he was brought down to Roosters first grade when he was 16.
Yeah, I remember. I was like living here when he came down. He was like, he was 16 playing SG ball and all that shit, but he looked like he was 35.
And he did a first grade trial when he was 16, I think, as well.
And held his own well and truly.
Crazy fact about him, he is currently only 33 years old.
Yeah.
He should still, if all went to plan, he'd still be playing. And, we see players in their prime at 33.
Yeah, wow.
In 2013, I think it was 6 weeks away from the grand final. He was ruled out for the year. And he came back for the grand final. He didn't play in the prelim. And Robinson picked him as, early 20-year-old?
Yeah, to start
the game at lock.
Oh, my God.
Like, it's underappreciated. He won the back-to-back comps as captain. He won back-to-back series for New South Wales as captain. He literally had to retire because he went too hard.
Yeah, that sums it up. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
I'll tell you a story about Boyd Cordner. Like, speaking of that last man stands comp, one of my mates who just lives around here just put up on his Instagram one day, we're short for cricket on Sunday if anyone wants to come. Fucking Boyd Cordner replied. It was like, what time? And at the time, he was the Australian captain. Mate was like, 1 p.m, we're on field 3 or whatever, blah, blah. They show up and he gets there. He's like, by the way, I think Boyd Cordner's coming to play. Boyd fucking showed up for like 6 weeks.
What?
Every Sunday and just played.
How'd he hit him?
No idea. I imagine well.
Imagine well.
He just,
probably won it
he
for
was
him.
the Australian. This was when he was playing. He wasn't retired. This was off season.
Jesus. So just a random dude.
Yep.
That's so. I mean, reminds me a little bit. I know you knew Travis a little bit, but Travis Head, he's hot property right now. Tell him about the story with Travis Head a few weeks ago.
Very hot property. Oh yeah, we've kind of crossed paths with him a little bit over the years at Sportsbet. On some tours and things like that. We were dressed up as packets of Mentos at the Edgbaston Test in 2019 after it was revealed that England had actually been ball tampering with Mentos and other mints on the ball. And he saw us in the stands and kind of DM'd a few of us and goes, "Love the kits. Let's catch up for a few refreshments."
Yeah, of course.
And we thought,
a couple of Mentos, but it was beers.
A couple of Mentos. That'll probably never happen. But a few hours after they did win that first test in 2019, he goes, "Come to this pub, go down there," end up, having a bit of an evening with, all the team was there and some of their family and stuff. So we've sort of loosely kept in touch with him a little bit since then. And a few weeks ago when they played a one-dayer up here, I thought, I'll just have a little shot at the stumps and flicked him a DM. I said, if you're keen after the game, we'll stick around and catch up. And he did, came out in his full kit and, gave us about 20 minutes.
Didn't he beat you there?
He did.
He beat him to the pub in his kit.
Yeah, outrageous. He's just
outrageous behaviour.
I love this. He reminds me of he's basically one of those late 90s cricketers. They've just frozen him and defrosted him now. Got the big moustache, loves having a good time.
Yeah.
Just a
bit of rugby league about him.
Bit of rugby league about him, and so good to just see him just dominating as well. Completes the picture. But he's a weapon.
Yeah, it's like the fact that he beat you there in his kit is just so
full
good.
Kit was that did me. That was good.
Just on Boyd Cordner before we move on, he also went into coaching this year. He coached the Roosters SG ball side. And that, like, his first time coaching anything, but like, and they started their season with a heap of injuries. Like, I remember I saw him at Henson Oval one day after their game and I said, fuck, that was brutal. Like, they just lost 3 of their starting players. He's like, yeah, like, we're going to be really tested. I don't know how we'll go. Like, I could tell that, like, the pressures of being a coach for the first time.
Yeah, especially with his reputation, there's an expectation there, you know?
100%. They won the comp.
Oh, my God, bro.
Yeah, they lost, like, 3 of their main dudes for the entire season. They won the comp.
Just quickly, though, like, are you happy you finally have another Rooster fan on? Because, like, I feel like this is a Rooster bench at the moment.
I'm actually brave enough to be, like, outwardly a Rooster.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
If you ever want to join us someday, you know,
publicly. Oh, my God.
I know people don't like Roosters fans and all that.
Oh, Leaguie from the top row.
I might have a team this year. I'm actually considering putting myself open to the market.
Okay, so you're courting.
You might make a thing of
You're open to courting.
I am.
Well, you know, can I play a partner at all?
No. I'm not going for Brisbane. I'm open to a New South Wales club.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say, as you know, I'm obviously not your father, but I want to play that role if you're courting, and I don't want you disrespected. I don't want your innocence taken like that. So if you've got any offers for him, let me help negotiate it. I'm trying to.
You're going to be my manager, are you?
Yeah, if you've got a good dowry, like, you know, you're getting courted, mate. You can't be courting yourself. You need someone to help you with the courting.
Let's do it this year. I'll put myself open. They can hire me for a
season. Guru, he's going to be hired for the season. Reach out to the root.
I can see him in a PNG Chiefs jersey myself.
You know what? I actually can't, to be honest.
Are you okay with receiving your offers in brown paper bags?
Oh,
okay.
Wow,
okay. That's how they roll over there.
Cool.
Do you want premierships? Do you want to win?
Into brown paper bags.
Okay.
Strictly business decision.
I reckon Guru would rock a sombrero as well, so that suits us.
Yeah,
sombrero.
No, but we'll open it up in a few weeks. But I am open to negotiations.
Oh, okay. So listen, you know, if you're a club out there that's looking for a very powerful voice in rugby league that can sway the people, it's the great Guru. Reach out. It's not going to come cheap though.
No, it will not.
It will not come cheap.
It will not come
cheap. There'll be a shitload of clauses in whatever it is, I'm sure as well.
Be month-to-month clauses.
Sure.
He'll have 11 clauses with 1 month locked in, and you can just leave at any time.
Yep.
Jesus. I like that. Okay, so next topic, boys. Shout out to Squarespace. This is brought to you by Squarespace. Join the Bloke Club to save 10% off your first purchase order. Also, make sure to join the Bloke Club. It's completely free at bloke.club. And we're giving away $1,000 this month, just randomly, to one lucky person. All you got to do is be a part of the Bloke Club. We give away prizes. We'll do another prize most likely next month as well. So $1,000 cash to just a random Bloke Club member. Join for free. Okay, on to the next story, guys. Roosters re-signed Tedesco, but I think it's the Cherry Evans is probably the biggest story. We've flogged it to death, but it's worth talking about it again. I'm going to sound like a massive hater here because now all the talk is Roosters are the team to beat next year. Not all the talk, but there's a lot of talk about that. Premiership heavyweights. I'm sorry. I've been here before for the last 5 years at the Roosters. I'm going to wait and see. I'm a wait and see kind of guy with the Roosters because, as I said, I've been here for the last 5 years. They've had a roster for most of those years. Granted, you could throw 1 or 2 years in there with injury or whatever. I'm not expecting to win a comp every year, but at least challenge for a comp. I'd argue since they're back-to-back premierships, they haven't challenged for a comp. I'm a wait and see kind of guy since DC has signed. I can see it coming together for sure, like with DC there. However, I'm not as convinced as some people. I'll go to Leaguie first, mate. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, when I first came on here, I remember you asking me about it, and I said I'd rather be a fan of a club that takes a gamble in recruitment to win a premiership, and this is a gamble. Anyone saying that this makes the Roosters immediately contenders is wrong, in my opinion, because, absolutely we can. But it could go pretty badly as well. You know, DC is a guy, I think he's 36 now. So he's getting on. You got James Tedesco who's going to be another year older. So nothing's guaranteed. And when you look at that Roosters spine next year, it does feel like, I've been saying this for a while, but it's going to be really hard to coach. Tedesco always wants the ball. DCE, you know, he has his own attacking output. Walker wants the ball. Then you got 2 9s in Robson and Watson who have the license to do their own thing as well. Robertson has a really tough job, I think, this year. But if he gets it all together, it's going to be so good.
Is it a gamble or is it a unnecessary gamble?
Or maybe it's both, you know? I mean, it's been a while since we won a premiership now. 2019 was the last time. And you look at, with Tedesco coming towards the end of his career, we spoke a little earlier off air that the sort of replacement plan is this Rex Beathing suite. So once that happens, you know, we could be in a bit of a rebuild again. It could be that these next 2 years are that important. So get a guy like DCE in to get you a comp.
Here's a tough question for you. If, let's say, you miss the 8, or you make the 8 fall out like you have in the last 4 or 5 years, is that a concern that the Roosters have a little, not completely lost their magic, but a little bit? Because their last few recruits haven't really worked out.
Yeah, I already have a bit of concern that we've lost our magic. And that's why I think this signing is so important.
Okay.
It's the Hail Mary to get us back there. Maybe Hail Mary is a bit disrespectful. You know, DC is a very good player, but
Just quickly, like, he did get dropped from the Origin squad, and he didn't play great last year. There were times when he did. Like, I understand Manly in a very bizarre situation or whatever, and we know DC is a champion. Like, you go back to 2020, came into Origin, was pretty much going to get dropped, came in and did what he did, and then his whole career changed. But this idea, like, I think there's a bit of a comparison to Cronk. Not by a lot of people, but by some people. Like, the difference is Cronk was coming off a premiership year.
Yeah, I think the Cronk comparison is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I also think people are, like, I don't have an issue with them signing DCE as a player. I think he's still got plenty to offer. He's a matured guy. He's a guy that, in my opinion, he's played behind a probably top 3 worst pack in the NRL the last 3 years. Like, they're trying to find forwards, realistically.
Yeah, where he's going to have a lot of front foot footy.
He's going to play on the front foot the entire time. He's going to be okay. It's just that we know what it's been like with Sam Walker for the last few years, trying to find combinations. You're introducing a new guy who's played nothing but halfback, been the dominant guy in his team the entire time. Like, I don't think DC is a bad signing. I'm just not convinced he's a good fit for the Roosters. Which is...
Will DCE play 6?
yeah, I definitely think he will. But then...
See, why? I don't understand why. If you're going to go and sign DCE, why is he your 5'8"?
And if he's signed as well to, like, mentor Walker, which I'm hearing people saying, you already have Cronk in the building mentoring Walker. You got freaking Luke Keary, who did it at the start of his career. Mitchell Pearce is a consulting role. You want DCE as well. Yeah. And then you got Trent Robinson.
It's the greatest mentorship of all fucking time.
And Walker is like none of them. He doesn't play like... He has his own style.
Because he's not like anyone.
Yeah.
He's a unicorn. That's what he is.
With DCE, in regards to style, can you trust when the heat of the battle comes, he's going to be like, Sam Walker, you take the reins? I don't know. That's not his personality, in my opinion.
No.
He's the main man, in my opinion.
But this is why, like I said, it's going to be so difficult to coach because James Tedesco, I think you could say the same thing about. When the moment is there, he wants the ball.
Which you could argue it's cramped that spine a little bit for a while now.
For sure.
With Tedesco being so dominant. And granted, he has come out and said that that's been a bit of a concern a couple of years ago, and he's really released the reins a little bit, which I really admire about Teddy, that he came out and was very honest with that. Very easy for him to go, are you serious, bro? Like, I'm one of the greatest fullbacks of all time. Like, shut the fuck up. But okay, so the problem with the Cheese signing, and look, I just want to get some context there because people forget the context of the Cheese and all that signings. When they signed them, the game was the fastest it's ever been. And so Trent Robinson looked at it and said, I just need a bunch of hectic ball runners. Joey Manu, Teddy, Cheese, Keary and all that stuff. Then the rules got changed immediately the next year. But so there is that part of that signing roster that he has come and gone since then. However, again, I just wonder too many cooks in the kitchen.
The other aspect of it is as well that because you've signed Reece Robson, which is a great signing, Connor Watson's now a lock. So instead of playing with Nath White, who was like a bit more of like a power forward kind of guy, you're now throwing another guy that can ball play, that plays a little bit differently than spine. So not only are you trying to work out this balance where you're trying to find the best spot for Sam Walker, but now you've got to throw Connor Watson in there. Round 5, Victor Radley's going to return as well. Like, it's just a lot of plates to spin that, I'm sorry, over the last few years, they've shown they can't really do it.
Well, even look at the Australian side. Like, it was almost like there was too many good players in our spine. Because it's like, who do you get the ball to? Munster's a bit... Out of all of them, he is the big dog in regards to age. You've got Cleary, won 4 premierships. You've got Walsh, who's in red-hot form. You've got Harry Grant, who's essentially the second-best hooker of all time. What are your thoughts, mate?
Well, yeah, and on that note, I think we worked out our attack a bit last year, but we've just had our attacking coach, Justin Holbrook, walk out of the building. So there's another reset in that department. I think...
Sorry, just as well with that, though. But that was... Finally, you had... Sam Walker as the big dog.
What made you work it out?
Yeah.
You had a rookie 9 in
Yualu.
Yeah. You had Savala, who was just doing whatever Walker wanted, and Teddy taking a bit of a step back.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
No, but that's exactly right. That's sort of where I was going. So, yes, we've thrown absolutely everything at it, and at its best, it will be unstoppable, but it's going to be such a big job for Trent Robinson. And, I heard you speak a couple of weeks ago about the pressure that he's under. If this doesn't go right and he has to sell yet another sort of reset and approach to Nick Politis and all that, it could be difficult.
Yeah, there were some people that really disagree with that statement, but I'm sorry if they don't make a push for a grand final in the next 2 years, I think Trent Robinson's under pressure, and I don't think it's because he can't coach. He's a gun. He'll get a job. There will be clubs lining up for it, but I just think the Roosters are going to say, listen, we've tried this we haven't made a grand final by that stage it'll be 7 years, and we haven't really even pushed for one. Now, granted, if he goes back-to-back prelims, I could see an argument for like, listen, back-to-back prelims, like, mate, there's a lot worse you could be doing. But I don't think the Roosters are a club that are going to be like, yeah, sweet, we'll just, we'll go week one of the finals 2 weeks 2 years in a row.
But even nowadays, like back-to-back prelims, like there is still teams that are making prelims that are not at the level of Brisbane, Penrith, Melbourne, those sort of sides. And like
we saw it last year.
Jersey the other day, it says we play for premierships.
Yeah.
Hot tip at the moment, you're not.
Yeah.
And like Politis, I think that's the other thing that people need to keep in mind with Politis. He's 81 years old. He's not going to be there forever. And he's not going to want to go out quietly. You want another comp.
I really felt this year it was so stark of how much better the top three teams were than everyone else. Yep. Not during the year, but when finals footy arrived, it was like, oh shit, like there is a whole nother level to this game, in my opinion anyway.
And it feels like, I reckon for the last 4 or 5 years, it's felt like that come finals time. I don't think the Roosters have ever been one of those sides.
No, I don't think so. They've had back end of seasons where you've gone, whoa, okay, this is and then they get to finals and they might have one good game and then
but
one.
This is the issue that we've had though. We can't make the top four. We did in 2023, I think. Yeah,
which was actually really good. I think was it 23 you had a lot of injuries or 22? 22 you had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, and 21 was awful. But yeah, we have these brilliant late season runs of form and we think, oh, we're a dark horse. But you need that second chance in the finals. It really, really helps. So not making the top four is not really good enough.
Yeah. Alrighty, it is time to speak about the Storm re-signing Harry Grant just quickly. I do think it's interesting. Now, maybe we've been spoiled with all these like long-term deals, but like till 2028, and look, I know Storm fans will hate to hear this, but it is interesting. 2028, it is the same time I'd assume PNG will come in, or at least a year before. Does it leave room for Harry Grant at that age he'll be like, what, nearly 30 by then, I think? Get the big deal to kind of ride off into the sunset. Now, granted, I know he's already been paid pretty well, but you could argue Harry Grant's taking unders to stay at the Storm. I find it interesting till only to 2028.
It is interesting that it lines up with PNG. Obviously, the finances behind that is a tremendous story. The other angle of that I can think of is potentially with Cameron Munster and Jerome Hughes getting towards the end. Maybe he's just done a short-term deal so that he'll get the bag, so to speak, But
it's a 2-year deal, 2-year extension.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly how it lines up with the contract of the others, but maybe they just thought, okay, we'll sort it out just for the short term.
Oh, true, yeah. And you might get the Munster Hughes money. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But in terms of him staying at the club, like, I don't think there was ever a world in which he leaves before winning a premiership. He's the captain there. If there's one place where I think you can almost guarantee that you will retire with a premiership, it's probably the Melbourne Storm. So,
although, like, isn't it strange how 1 or 2 grand finals now, but it is starting to kind of go, wow, there's a lot of grand finals. Look, I think we'd all love to support the Melbourne Storm because they're always in grand finals. But it is weird how, like, it's like, oh, crap, like, it's a lot of grand finals and lose, not a lot, but you know what I'm saying. For their standards. Hammy, what do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, interesting you talk about PNG coming back in. I wonder whether he might like to bookend his career with the West Tigers. 2028, obviously, we will have won a 3-peat by then. We'll be going for 4. Would he like to come and secure a 4-peat with his old club?
Oh, my God.
Would you guys even want him? I mean, you've got, Appy Coruscant and all that sort of guys coming through. Maybe you're too good.
But, I mean, Appy will probably be coming to the end by then as well, so it could be a good succession plan and get Harry Grant back.
Oh, my fucking God.
So that's just one to think about.
Holy shit. Yeah, this is a serious podcast, bro. This is not the comedy podcast.
Well, no, look, I mean, he'd always be welcome back, obviously, Harry, but I can't see. I quite like your thoughts there, Leaguie, around, it's still pretty good money. There's a couple of other guys on big money who probably by that point will be, you'd imagine, wrapping up, or, there might be a bit more cash available. So he just strikes me the sort of guy, Harry Grant, that he just feels like a Melbourne Storm guy. Yeah. I don't know that he's going to go, look, I'm sure they'll look after him if he looks after them, and he's, obviously a test. We captained a test, he plays Origin, all that sort of stuff as well. So he's not short of a buck. He's getting paid pretty well to play at a good club, hopefully have a little bit more premiership success. But I feel like they'll look after him come 2028 financially, if that is the case.
I will say, now that you've said that, I think that makes way more sense. Way more sense. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together of like, that's essentially when Hughes and Munster will be gone. Munster's 27, I think. Hughes might be 28. That's a really good insight because I was just thinking PNG lines up.
Munster's 31.
No, sorry, the year. The year. I think like the only reason why I thought PNG is like he'll get fucking nearly $2 million there or something.
Yep.
You know, that's why I thought PNG. But
and that's basically $4 million because it's tax free.
You wouldn't be paying any tax on it, and also the third party deals he'd get over there. Like, yes, obviously it's a developing nation or a nation with not as much money as say Australia. However, there are still huge corporations over there with a lot of cash.
Yeah, in terms of expansion clause, I mean, I know we'll touch on Perth in a bit, but this is yet another one that is now off the table for them, which is kind of cause for concern. I mean, it would have been really good for them to be able to get him in on big money and just build everything around him. But yeah, now staying at the Storm, that's not an option.
Yeah. Thinking about you boys are right. I don't see him leaving the Melbourne Storm. They just wouldn't. They just wouldn't let it happen. I think there's a bit of a, I think Cameron Smith has kind of laid down a bit of a standard that like you can get the $5 million somewhere else, or you can have this legendary kind of club mentality. Cooper Cronk situation is always so interesting, isn't it? It's only Billy Slater, it's only Cam Smith out there. I wonder if he stays an extra year, does he get a statue out there? Like, if I'm being honest as well, like I understand from a achievement perspective, maybe he should be there. But I also get where the Storm are coming from. It's like, mate, the last couple of years, like I know you might have gone there to be with your partner or whatever, but they're our rivals. So
I'm very happy for the Storm to reject him as their legend so that we can have him as ours.
Oh,
but,
my
100%.
That is so Rooster.
Yeah.
Like, goes there for 2 years, he's a legend.
He's Bondi through and through.
Oh, my
Local junior, I'm
God,
pretty sure.
bro, that'll do me.
But yeah, there's with those statues, like...
It is interesting. Yeah. It says a lot without saying anything, it's like the idea of you sending a message by not saying anything to a degree. Now, granted, not putting a statue there is saying something, but yeah, I find that super interesting that they didn't.
There'd be a statue if he didn't literally beat them in a grand final?
No, I don't think that. I think, to my understanding, and no, this is not from Cam Smith, guys. I haven't spoken to him about it. To my understanding, the Storm just didn't like how the exit was handled. That's to my understanding. I don't know. Again, that's whispers. That's not confirmed. It's not from Smithy at all. I'd heard that before I even met Smithy. But that's kind of what I get from when I speak to some people around it. It was like there's a way it was kind of brought up and handled that they probably didn't like that much. Could be wrong. Could be nonsense. I don't know. But there isn't a statue at the front of the stadium, so something's going on there. Yeah. Okay, next. Perth Bears reportedly have offered Liam Henry more money. More than what Penrith can. Interesting as well. Penrith have gone and signed Warriors reserve grade front rower, two of them, I think. Tom Ale and the other guy, Crosby.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Kalani Going is his name. I don't know if it's Going or like...
But there's another guy as well, I think. Crosby or something like that?
Not to my knowledge, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there's another guy as well that just recently, I'll get the great Gurino up.
There is something going on between Warriors and Panthers. I think ever since Jet Cleary went over, there's a lot of talent that's going between the two teams.
Which is like so good for really both clubs, but especially Tom Crosby. So he was pretty sure he's in the CBA watch for Guru, so he's got a bit about him. He was in the Jersey Flegg, so they've signed him as well. So that would suggest to me that they're already preparing for life without Liam Henry, to be honest. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it kind of seems like it. Lindsay Smith also on the open market at the moment. They also signed Newman. You can talk more about him. He's a centre from England.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought the weekend just gone was enough evidence that Englishmen didn't perform in Perth, but evidently the Bears think otherwise. Look, he'll be 27 by the time he plays for the Bears, so coming towards the back end, but sort of in that peak sweet spot that you want. His right-sided centre, he's quick, decently strong, very good ball playing. He plays for Leeds and often is given a bit of a license to roam back in the middle of the field. Okay. So I'm not saying he's like sort of the level of Joey Miner or anything, but maybe that kind of style. He's a former England Young Player of the Year as well. So talented guy. Did play in that third test against Australia and was solid. So, yeah, I mean, he's not going to set the world alight, I don't think, but not a bad first signing for the first grade side.
I mean, that's what they're going to have to get. They're not. I don't think they're going to get superstars. I think they're going to have to try and find a little bit similar to the Dolphins, but try and find a bunch of guys with a good attitude that's going to be able to build good culture and just battle in most games.
Yeah, well, and I know the Ashes wasn't exactly the greatest advertisement for the Super League, but if they can pick the best out of it, just because the time zone's a little bit smaller, you've got direct flights to London from Perth, that could be a really attractive option for those players.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. The direct flight does change quite a lot.
So if they miss out on more guys in the NRL, that could be a way to go.
I'm concerned as anything for this Perth Bears though. Like I just think that roster is respectfully is probably going to be a New South Wales Cup level roster at this stage.
Yep.
Like, who else are they going to go for in the spine right now?
It's running out. It really is running out.
Sexton will probably come back, I guess.
Yeah, and he's good, but he had a very good Bulldog side around him as well. We had this situation with the Dolphins only a few years ago, and they somehow managed to outperform themselves with Wayne and his coach. I think that was a big part. But I'm surprised that we've decided to go exactly the same strategy and not give them sort of concessions and a little bit of help, given that we saw the Dolphins struggle to assemble.
And also, like, the Dolphins are in the heartland of rugby league, essentially. Like, the Perth, we're in a whole new state. Like, they've got to give them exemptions in that. They've got to give them some kind of, carrot to get the boys over there. I don't understand. Like, give me a good argument as to why PNG get all of these extras, but Perth don't. Now, granted, I understand the living standard is different, but they're about the same flight away, aren't they? Yeah,
the flight thing is huge. You're signing up for crossing Australia every couple of weeks.
And also, like, PNG, that is the sport of the nation. Like, they'll be able to fill out a lot of the side with local talent. They should be able to. The talent's not an issue in PNG. It's just putting the systems in place. And that's what I don't get about Perth is, like, we're going into AFL territory. Like, when GWS went into Sydney territory, they got all these extras and clauses and more salary cap. I don't get it.
It'll be tough for them to kick off. And, there probably does need to be a bit of it. Like, they used to have the cost of living allowance for AFL players coming to Sydney, like a little bit of a way to kind of make it work a little bit better for players, make it a bit more attractive. But, it's obvious why PNG have got it. Very different over there. You've got to basically live in a bit of a, they don't want you to call it a compound, but whatever it is, a community.
Yep. Like-minded people.
That's right. Well, there's just different kind of factors at play there, I guess. You're still it's still very developed and whatever in Perth, but it'd be interesting to see who they get and if they can get a couple of big names, because obviously even the Dolphins up there in Queensland had a bit of trouble doing that to start with.
As you rightly say with the whole Heartland thing, like, okay, if PNG can't attract big names, they've got so many juniors who will be able to come in and fill that side. They might not be great, but they're rugby league players. Perth doesn't have that. There is not a junior base. So logically, maybe they need concessions more than PNG.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't understand why they haven't. I'm really concerned about Perth, and I feel like it really just has been a rush to get these extra teams in for the TV rights deal. I understand it. Like, I don't think anyone's sitting here saying PVL, like, don't do that. Like, we get why he's doing it, but it just, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm concerned. Okay, Flano has announced that Daniel Atkinson will get first crack at halfback in 2026. So strange. Like, at number 7? What? Like, and look, I'm okay with him going, Flano has got the other jersey. Like, I'm okay with that. But put Flano at 7. I don't understand why Atkinson's an out-and-out 6, at least in my opinion. Very strange that he's going to move Flano back to 7, unless he's just mixed his words up here or whatever. Thoughts?
Well, I will sort of ask you, because you've actually been involved with NRL pre-seasons, but from a fan's perspective, I can't understand why a statement like this would be made at the start of pre-season. If I was in that position, I'd be taking Atkinson, Kyle, and Lycan King Tonga and saying, there's 2 jerseys between you, throw it in the middle of them and say, impress me.
Yep.
So why do you think he has said this at this time?
Well, it's a bit about backing him publicly so that he feels confident, but also he's probably already told him that. Like, probably the reason why he came to the club during contract negotiations was, you will start in this, and at this stage it was a case that he would have. Now, granted, he barely played, a lot of minutes of footy for the Sharkies, but it's a lot about basically publicly backing him in. Like, players, although they don't read every headline, like, that stuff means a lot for your coach to publicly come out and say, you've got the jersey. There's heaps of stories about Wayne Bennett sitting down, players that have been in and out of first grade and going, you're a first grader, you've got the opportunity to just take it. And I think it's more just about confidence, maybe also to quiet noise. Like, if he leaves it open, anyone can have it, then all the talk over the whole off-season is essentially, But I understand what you're saying. If you're looking at just purely, like, ruthless, best man gets the jersey, it does work a little bit against it.
See, like, I get that with Atkinson, with the whole promise of the contract, but the 5/8 jersey, although maybe we all kind of know that Kyle is going to get a spot there, if I'm liking King Tonga, now what am I really aiming for in the preseason? I want to have that carrot of, I can be 5/8 in round 1 next to the new guy.
Yeah. I think it's more just confidence, really. Like, there is a lot of strength in squads when the coach publicly backs players in key positions. Like, I think you'd be surprised at how important confidence is in your coach back here. I understand what you're saying though. Like, so King Tonga's sitting there going, okay, I'm a reserve grade at study. Awesome. Awesome.
So, and he can have an average preseason and he'll still be a reserve grader.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah, you're right. I guess it's up to Shane Flanagan to motivate him to make sure that doesn't happen. I don't understand the 6 and 7 jersey there. I don't know why they keep not playing Flano in 7. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Because he is a 7.
He's a 7.
It feels like just to take the pressure off, but like everyone can see that he's playing like a 7. Yep. He's a 7. It's been an interesting one. It hasn't been that well managed there. It's obviously a tough spot he's in. It's his son, all that sort of stuff. But we saw with Ilias this year, playing the house down in reserve grade, couldn't get back in. But it's a strange comment to make because all that we've seen of Atkinson, and look, he probably can play 7 as well, but he's kind of either come off the bench and kind of played that sort of like floating 6 kind of role, or he's played at 6 usually.
Yeah, so, I feel like he's an out 6. Like, he definitely doesn't seem like, could be wrong, but
we'll have to wait and see.
I will say, like, all that aside, I do think Kyle Flanagan has had a good, at least last season, I thought he was solid for most of the year.
Yeah, you know? I quite often speak in his defence. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we all know the hate that he gets, but most of the time he is a very solid player. I remember in his time at the Roosters, I was well behind him. I thought that he was going really, really well. Was dropped towards the back end of his time, but he's not as bad a player as it's made out to be. And when he went to the Dragons, he signed initially as a hooker utility. So given that...
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know about that. That was what was reported.
Okay, well, I have to take it at
of course.
If that was the case, the way that he has become a consistent starting half, I think he deserves some credit for that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I actually thought for a lot of the year he was one of their better players, to be honest. So I got no issue with you going into a new year going, Flano has been great, he's our 7, Atkinson's our 6. The weird thing for me is just like, why is Atkinson a halfback?
Do you think he's trying to buy into the sort of Jerome Hughes era? We spoke about Jen and Campbell earlier.
That's almost even worse though, because like Flano is so far from a modern 6, it's, you know.
Well, I agree, but that's the only way I can make any sense of it.
Yeah. Okay, just quickly before we wrap up, guys. Eels have signed Adakar, which is great. I think he's been outstanding. I thought he was one of the more underrated form wingers last year. And just finally, Manly have reportedly tabled Cooler a 3-year deal. Like, this is... I think most people assume he's going to take this, and maybe he will. But, like, is Manly that attractive a club right now? Like, and I'm not trying to have a crack at Manly fans at all, but if you're a young centre that's a gun, just one player of the year, you know, he would have some pretty big dog clubs after him right now. Is Manly... If you had a 21-year-old gun, and I know it might be a little bit older than that, and he had offers from Manly, but let's say a few other clubs, would you be rushing to take that deal?
No. The one thing Manly have going for them right now in terms of young players is that, well, I'm sort of that generation, and when I was growing up, it was Manly and Melbourne who were the 2 top dogs. So there is a little bit of aura there. But, you know, Anthony Seibold in as coach, respectfully, I think there are other coaches out there who are probably more attractive. Cherry Evans has just walked out of the building. You've got still this reliance on the Trbojevic brothers who are back to
only extended 1 year turbo.
Yeah. So I don't know. With Kohler in particular, I don't know his personal ambitions, but potentially he might want to play fullback. He played a bit of fullback in the NRL. I'm not sure if Manly is the place I'd want to be with Lehigh Hopewadi there as well. Trbojevic might still play a few seasons more. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Just pod Manly and Turbo. He was just named captain of the club.
Oh, really? Yeah. Wow.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have gone Jake actually rather than Tom, but
yeah, I guess Jake's probably got another 1 year or 2 in him. Not that bit long. So interesting.
How do you think
your captains are signing 1 year extensions?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's till 27, but.
I was going to say this is on a completely different note, still with Manly, but Fogarty and Brooks next year. What do you think of that dynamic? Because we were talking about Atkinson is probably a 6 playing 7. I think Fogarty and Brooks are almost, in some respects, 2 7s. But Fogarty more so. But
yeah, I think Brooks is a 6.
You think so?
I don't think he's a 7. I think that. I will say though, like
6 7. Would you say?
Can we not do this again? It feels like every time I'm on here, we end up doing that meme. Just because me and Winston are young doesn't give you guys much.
Okay, fair. Sorry, we're the old guys trying to take your shine away. The one knock, and look, I'm a big fan of Fogarty. I think he's had an outstanding season last year. But both players in big moments That's probably their weakest point right now. They need to work on.
And Fogarty was able to do what he did in 2025 because of that forward pack. Like so much space was afforded to him. He's not going to have that next year at all.
So it's going to be super interesting. They've also got Walsh coming through as well. It's quite good. But thoughts on the Cola 3 deal offer? What do you reckon he'll do there?
Yeah. So they've offered it to me. He hasn't taken it yet?
He hasn't taken it. See, I think he'll take it, but my more conversation is more along the lines of like, is it a good decision to take it?
Yeah. Look, I mean, he's probably going to get big offers from particularly new clubs and stuff coming in as well. But look, Manly have been through a little bit over the last 12 months. A lot of instability. DCE, board members, all sorts of stuff. There's been a lot
CEO
of noise.
Gone.
Is it better, are a couple of the senior players, your Tom Trbojevic is, starting to try to rally the guys that they've got there or that they want there. Like, come on, let's try to build a bit of a culture here that wants, will attract better, all that sort of stuff. Like, maybe that kind of comes into his thinking a little bit. He feels like a player that, like, Manly have given a good crack. He's played some good footy for them, but he seems like one they can kind of continue to build around for me. I reckon he'll probably take it.
Yeah, I think he will take it. As I said, I just wonder, winning a comp seems quite a way away for Manly. And I just wonder, is Cooler that way inclined? Is there a big dog club right now that needs a centre or an outside back?
Is there a big dog club that's going to pay overs to get a good centre there? Like if he's going to get the big paycheck right now, it's probably for one of these new clubs.
Is he getting a big paycheck at Manly? Like Manly notoriously, not notoriously, that's probably the wrong word, but like I don't ever hear Manly having to play overs that often, They're outside backs. You've got Garrick that's probably putting a squeeze on it as well.
Yep.
They got a lot of outside backs. The fact that he hasn't taken it already, because he's off contract right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to know the amount.
Maybe this is where he's seeing Cherry Evans having left, Tom on a 1-year extension. He's thinking these guys on big money are towards the back end, so maybe if I stay here a little bit more, then it will be there for me.
Yeah. Okay, that is us done and doosted for the day. Give Leaguie a follow, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff. Obviously, you already know the great Hammy, so give Hammy a follow on Instagram. Let's do Face the Music, brought to you by our friends over at Sportsbet.
Yeah, now we have no test match this week. Yep. Obviously, it's going to kick off the following week. So, look, to be honest with you, unless you want to lock in maybe a top run scorer for the series, I know you guys did it for the first test the other day. That might be the one to kind of keep the ball in the air, keep the futures going. But in the meantime, of course, Guru's put Head Shave on the line. Let us know in the comments, please, what you want Kempy to do for the challenge there. But let's go to the top run scorer for the series.
But I can't do this yet because we still need to work out what I've got to bet. Then that means I've locked in to who I'm going to bet against Root.
Yeah, but this will be will this not be kind of a cumulative for the Ashes series thing, the chips away? Be like we had our final series, we had our Pacific Championship series.
Okay.
Yeah.
But wouldn't I, because I'm going to pick the total winner.
Yeah.
The whole series.
Yeah.
What if I want to change my decision before I get back in here for Root? I need more time, maybe.
Yeah, well, I'm happy for you to take it offline and think about it. Maybe we can come back with it next week.
Yeah, let's come back as we build into the hype.
Some thinking time.
Yeah,
Where's
some thinking
the bold Denon Kemp that I once knew?
What?
The bold Denon Kemp who just go for it.
He had 2 children, bro. He had freaking 2 children.
I don't want to dye my hair, baby.
Oh my God.
I dye my hair.
Holy shit.
Sure.
Did he just mock me?
He must be something about that chair. Whoever sits in that one.
Very rude, very disrespectful. Holy shit. Listen, I put my balls on the line. I dyed my balls blonde. Everyone saw it.
Oh, that's an idea.
Like, I just don't want another 6. I swear to God, I don't like looking back and seeing my fucking baby child pictures with a fucking blonde hair, bro. It's fucked. It sucks, man. He's gonna what the hell? Someone's gonna be like, what the hell? Now look, so I'm gonna spin it. I'm gonna spin it like a good spinner.
Yep.
And say that's your dad, being a man of his word. So you should respect it, son. But still, I don't necessarily love it. So look, maybe there's something else I can do, like a dare or. Listen, I'm not scared of a challenge, mate. Don't try and you think you can put me on showy. I'll step up to the plate, mate. There's no plate I haven't stepped up to. However, I just need to find the right plate to step up to.
I mean, look, I see a correlation here. I would dye my hair for a bet. You wouldn't. I think that makes me a better man.
Oh, first of all, don't use big words like correlation. You're disrespecting our audience. Woke lawyer stuff over here. Very woke. Very woke and weird. Mate, thanks so much for joining us again, mate. We'll definitely get you on again soon.
Anytime, pleasure.
And I'm sure there's more stuff we're going to do throughout the year together. Absolutely. Also, I just wanted to give a massive thank you. Maddie, you haven't heard any laughing in the background. And no, Maddie's not off me. he's not off me. The great Winston, you're probably not going to see him with a camera right here, but the great Winston on Instagram and also in person, his name's Winston as well, which is interesting. He has come and he's done the decks for us. The decks for us, mate. First of all, I just want to say a massive thank you. We appreciate it. And just quickly, do you have a mic there or no?
No, I don't know.
You don't have a mic, so. Oh, of course he didn't. So Winston,
scared, mate. Scared
Winston Neville on Instagram. Make sure to give him a follow. Massive Doggies fan. Just yell out to me and I'll repeat to the people how the Doggies going next year.
They win the comp.
Oh, my God. Not repeating that. Oh, my. That's not what you said pre-show.
He said they win the comp, people.
He said they win the comp. And I wasn't going to repeat it because it's disgusting stuff. No, they're not going to win the comp. Come on, let's be real here.
I think Dogs Cup 7th.
7th? Yeah. Wow. Okay,
well, okay, 7th.
They make the 8. I think they make the 8. I do. I think, though, next year they're going to take one step back to take 2 steps forward, I think it's a bit of a mini readjusting for them, trying to find Woods' position, Galvin, he should be a 6. I don't think he's a 7. Interesting what they do with Burton, but we'll get more into that in the season previews and all that good stuff. But a massive thank you to Winston Neville. Really appreciate it.
You can't see what Winston's wearing right now, but he's got if you're a Dogs fan and you're going to Vegas, or even if you're not, he's got the Dog Vegas shirts on there as well.
Yep. And the new logo.
Where do they go to get one of them?
Winston and Dot Store.
Winston N. Store. Do yourself a favour, Crev. Good stocking stuffer for Christmas coming up.
And also, wearing that to Vegas as well. Got a shirt already sorted. So good stuff, mate. Thanks so much for doing it. We really do appreciate it. Okay, give him a follow on Instagram. Leaguie a follow. Hammy a follow. As usual, don't forget the Grumpy sale. It's on now. It's only going to go for a week. Stock up. Once it's done, we're not going to do a big sale again. We'll go fuck ourselves. Thank you.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.